grind 640. Lordy. All I do is make hits, numbers don't lie. Stuck where they at, I'm steady riding by. Spread my wings and fly. My goal is to keep Booty Alexia alive. The death threats and hate mail, all the fairy tales. I'm winning in this game, and these niggas can't stand it. But I understand it. Access granted. I am DC. 2 years in, an old nigga make history. Everything I say is real. Fuck a record deal. Got the DC legends back of me. I'm an animal. Yes, I'm an animal. Eating all these rappers like Hannibal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. Like I'm Hannibal. Eating all these rappers like I'm Hannibal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. Like a Hannibal. Eating all these rappers like I'm Hannibal.
I'm an animal like Hannibal Lecter. Have a seat, shout and open up your ear, hear this lecture. I'm an animal, a motherfucking animal. Lions, tigers, bears, 8 gorillas. I'm a criminal. Ain't shit sweet about me like a cookie. See, I'm a fucking vet, and you little boys rookies. Look how far this motherfucking back shit took me. And now I'm coming up, and you niggas kinda shook, B. I've been coolin', laying back, chillin' in the cut. Now it's time for me to step up and fuck the game up. You niggas thought Zoski ain't got it. If I got it in my hand, best believe that shit. See, I'm an animal, I go anywhere. You niggas scared, use a motherfucking cushy collie bear. See, I'm a motherfucking tiger in the streets. I defeat any nigga tryna step up to me. Any day, I'ma come on, nigga, coming for my plate. On my way, nigga, you gon' get this 40 or the K. I'm an animal, straight from District of Columbia. Nigga, we gon' slump ya, right until we rumble ya. Animal, animal,
I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. Like I'm Hannibal. Eating all these rappers like I'm Hannibal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. I'm an animal. I'm a motherfucking animal. Like I'm Hannibal. Eating all these rappers like I'm Hannibal.
Welcome to another edition of Go Platform. It is still Domestic Violence Month, or Stop Domestic Violence, or however y'all want to call it. And breast cancer, I would say let's just do it for all cancer people. And we got me, the man, the myth, the legend, Bam 640 as they call me. Along with who?
Miss Bam 640.
So what we got, baby, today? What we got?
We have survivor stories of breast cancer and just cancer in general. And we also going to be talking about domestic violence. We have a bunch of domestic violence survivors up here today to let you women know, hey, it's okay to leave. It's okay to go. It's okay to start over. It's better to do all that than to be dead.
Hey, Miss J, start with you first. I know your husband, your guy, my guy, the first guy who booked me out Miami and took care of me. Joe, my man Joe, rest in peace. You know me lost his life, and you are a cancer survivor. So how do you teach that message, or how do you keep on to your story? Because you got to win and a loss, but you still keep going on.
I won all around. Joe and I had a very good ride. When I was diagnosed first in 2013 with several lumps. I had a lumpectomy, both breasts, and these are new. They're reconstructed. Very nice. Reconstructed. So there are a lot of, and I'm a physician. You're a physician. Bam remembers when I graduated, as a matter of fact, right before we went to Miami.
Yeah.
My white coat ceremony was right before we went, so that was big. There are a lot of things that women don't understand about not only breast cancer itself, the disease, but diagnosing breast cancer. So when you guys were talking about it before, a lot of women don't know that nodules and maybe ingrown hairs that you think are in your underarm are actually pre-existing signs of onset of breast cancer. A lot of women don't know that your mammary glands, your milk ducts, do become inflamed, and if you don't treat them the proper way in that, then you can get a positive breast cancer reading, and it can form into something like that. People don't understand, one, that it is painful. Breasts are very sensitive areas, and any lump, growth, it's all very, very painful. There are a lot of nerves there. It is a bad experience. I personally did not go through the chemotherapy. I had the lumpectomy and went through radiation. And you have a process where right after the lumpectomy, they put drains so that all of the fluid drains from the surgery. And you have to wear this vest, you zip it up, and you put the little tubes in your pocket, and you have to drain them out all day long. It's horrible. It's horrible. They don't tell you that the smell through treatment. They don't tell you that you lose so many things and that it goes on for so very long. I actually had radiation burn and had to have my spleen removed as a result of that afterwards. So I tell everyone that not only to be aware because of the disease itself, because a lot of people are surviving.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are surviving. But the process that you have to go through in surviving is horrifying for anybody. They don't tell you that the changes that your body just goes through naturally. And anybody who told you that radiation sickness was not that bad
They told a lie.
told a very bad story.
I've seen
Told
that with
a
my mom.
very
I've seen
bad
it, and
story.
it's awful. It's awful.
So now I've been in remission for 5 years and 3 months, but your blood test because of your white blood cells, flu, COVID was very, very scary for someone like me with not a compromised immune system that is not only reconstructed, but is being supported daily.
Right.
My immune system doesn't function on its own. It has to be prompted daily. So that is something, people see you and say that you're doing well, like you look good. My parents always said you never look like what you're going through.
Right.
That's
right. My hair loss was different. My hair loss was like that of a newborn baby. So the crown was like cradle cap, and I had it there.
Yeah.
I didn't have it around like other people do. So they don't tell you, like, oh, you kept your hair. No, I figured out how to hide the bald spots, right? Even getting a shampoo and keeping yourself up and getting a pedicure in that time period is very, very uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
It's very, very painful.
I saw my mom go
You
through
have to be
that.
very careful with getting your nails done. We wore masks before COVID when you're a survivor, and you wore masks before that. So in COVID, the masks that were already acquired and coming to us as part of our sustaining package were in low supply. That's even more scary for a person that has gone through. And then my husband had colon cancer that metastasized to his liver. So there is no cure for that.
Right.
And what we had to do was make the conscious decision, and it was a very hard decision, that we were going to live till the wheels fell off. Like, you don't have to go through, we did some treatment, it helped for a while, it got us to the point where we can travel, and we did planes, trains, boats, automobiles, you name it, we did it. Joe passed away June the 11th. He told me on May the 24th that he wanted to go and see water. I said, water? Like the beach? And he's like, no, I drove because we could no longer take a plane due to blood clots. I drove him to Tennessee to the mountains, and we just had, and he had such a good time. So, I won all around. We left it all on the table. I have no regrets, right? But my mother never had breast cancer. My grandmother did.
See, and
the genetic recessive gene skipped a
Skipped your
generation,
mom,
and I'm
and-
not an oldest child.
Right.
So, but on my father's side of the family, my father just passed away in January from the same thing my husband had.
Oh wow.
All of his siblings, both of his parents and his siblings all had the cancer
Wow.
gene. So the breath test, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And your genetic screening.
Yes.
Your genetic screening to know what could possibly happen. They do it for diabetes. They do it for other diseases.
Yes.
And it is critical not only for you to be able to be prepared and have your family prepared, but for you to take the preemptive steps that have to happen in order for you to be able to ward some of these things. So now I do understand that it is scary to know that you have the dementia gene, the Alzheimer's gene, but would you rather just not know?
I would rather know, you know,
And be able to do
to be able to
something.
do something about it, because if it's something, and that's what I talk to my seniors about, you know, you want to be preventative. You know, if it's something that you can prevent, some things are you just can't, you know. But if you can, you just take those steps. Or if you take those steps, it may not be as bad, you know, as if you hadn't done anything at all, you know, to prepare for it. And what we did talk about most is that the knowledge that we have amongst us as African American women is that we don't know a lot of things, you know, we don't take into consideration about certain things about our bodies or genetics or that sort of thing, and that is something that is imperative.
Well, not
you
just
know.
an African American woman. As a physician, I tell people all the time, as women, our nurturing nature means that we take care of everyone else
And not
first.
ourselves.
Before
And
ourselves.
then
Yes.
before we even pay attention to, or we are paying attention, but because so many other things are going on, you put it off, you put it off, you put it off, and then you're at the stage where something is absolutely critical.
Exactly.
But I was also, you know, before Joe and I got married, I'm not from here. I guess everybody can hear that, right? I'm not from here.
I didn't know that.
You did, you knew
I
first.
did. I thought you from Mo County though, for real. I ain't lying.
No, that's where we moved to. That was the
Oh, that's how you
closest
got-
thing to home. Yes, that was.
In case everybody don't know, I know everybody give shout out to my man Burry. He keep me iced up, but this is the behind the scenes work of Society 66. This is the woman that spent in the warehouses so many times folding those nice shirts and all that. This is the people that you don't see in the front point. That's why I remember last time me and Nicole went to Miami. Nicole,
hooked
we
us
gonna
right
get
on
them
up.
straight, yeah. Hooked us like she is the we fail in this business to recognize the people like in the go-go band. They always look at the front line. They never look at the
Behind
keyboard
the
players,
scenes
the
that
drummers, the
contribute,
people that do. Even the people like Charmaine that stay on the stage, and the stage security. There's so much. But she's the one that was been all night folding those shirts and stitching and helping them. So yes, please give her props for. Bernie
And it's
Davis.
just so many, and love him.
Yeah,
Love
Bernie
him.
is a good guy.
His
He was
vision,
just on live with us
his
before we got here.
vision, always support. So, and I tell people all the time that you have to separate the man from the brand.
From the exactly.
You have
And
to
that's with
separate the
everything,
man
yes,
from the brand. You don't buy.
absolutely.
You don't go on Facebook every day because Mark Zuckerberg is such a great guy, because he's absolutely not.
He said
Right.
not at all.
But I'm not originally from here, and in my previous life, I was a victim of domestic violence, and I left, and this person came to my home where my children and I were. Came to my home. He came through the door. He cut my throat,
Oh,
My God.
several wounds down my body, and I was forced to shoot him.
dang.
Wow.
Did
I
you
was
kill him?
forced to shoot. No,
Oh,
but he
you should've.
pressed charges against
That's
me.
you. Like you did something to
the-
him, but he came in your house.
So I'm going to say that domestic violence, one, is not one-sided. I know a lot of men that fall victim to not being treated properly And there's more than one type of abuse.
But it is, and it's not just physical.
It's not
It's
just
not just
physical.
It's mental
And
too.
the mental is
Verbal
just,
abuse is
verbal and the
horrible.
mental
Right.
is horrible.
You
and it's-
cannot take words back.
Ooh,
You cannot.
no,
Words
cannot
cut
take
deep.
words
no,
back.
No. So what did that do for? I mean, I could just imagine the toll that it took on you mentally.
It
as
wasn't
well as
about,
physical.
for me, I was more concerned about the long-term effects of my children.
Okay. Yes. 'cause
What
they
does this do
witnessed-
to a child to see their mother? And when I was in the hospital for a very long time, had to reconstruct my esophagus. And my parents were saying, we don't really want to bring the kids up there. And originally I agreed. But then the physician at the time said, the unknown is scarier than laying eyes and knowing for yourself.
Yeah.
And once they saw me and saw that I could speak to them and they could get up on the bed, and the not knowing was way worse
than the knowing.
than I am an absolute advocate for counseling and therapy. Absolutely.
Amen.
Not only for people that are victims or have been through something. This life is not easy.
It's not.
It's not.
And every person that you come across brings something
Else
to you. And there has to be an outlet for that somewhere. There has to be some way. I advocate journaling. I tell people that all the time. You have to get these things off you. You have to process these thoughts and feelings in some manner. Men feel like, have been throughout generations given the impression that it is not acceptable or masculine, one, to admit that you have a problem at home,
Exactly, especially with a
two,
woman.
that you need help,
That part.
that you
That
need help,
part.
right?
That part.
So I tell people, and Bam and I had this conversation right when he told me that he met you, and I said, now listen, and you remember this lesson, listen, you got to make sure that you wash off everything old, and
bring
don't
with
take
you
it into something
that.
new.
Absolutely.
And don't take it
Absolutely.
into
And that's the
something
same
new.
thing I told him. Like,
And he
it was the
said-
stuff that
He said, Jay, I wouldn't even do that to her.
But-
I
but-
wouldn't even, and I said, okay, but I need you to hear me.
Yeah.
You gotta cleanse.
Yeah,
it's a
but
cleanse.
sometimes I think, and from what I've experienced, is that sometimes you may subconsciously bring in other stuff because it might be something that you haven't dealt with, or you pushed it back, in your psyche or whatever have you, and an incident may occur, but you're bringing back that old response, that old way you used to handle it. That's bringing that into her world, and she's a whole different person. She has different things, she has a different way, but you gotta be careful with that that subconscious thing that you bring, to the table, or old behavior. Because sometimes, and I tell people that you're so used to doing things a certain way, we don't think about it when we just do it. It just comes automatically. And and you could be inadvertently bringing something else, to the table that don't even have no place there. But because that's the way you dealt with it, or how you deal with it, or how you dealt with it in the past, or how you dealt with it with a totally different person, you may bring that, to you. And that's what I tell my son, and I'm like, whatever you've been through in the past, and I've done it. I've done it. I've been in that position where, some person didn't deserve what baggage that I brought to the table. But I had that baggage because I never unleashed it. I never unloaded it. I never, dealt with it in a way. I just pushed it back and I just kept pushing on. But all that is still in me. So I didn't deal with it in a way to where, as I'm conscious of that, I'm not doing that to the person who I'm in a relationship currently. And that happens too. So,
And it took a lot to understand through therapy. All of us, through circumstances, build a wall.
oh yeah,
You
Oh,
build your
yeah.
defense,
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
Nobody can break down the defense by themselves from the other side. They need help from this side. to bring it down. And that's one of the things I asked him. Are you ready to let your guard down? Yeah. But we don't. We feel ourselves being protective of us, of our children, of whatever we've grown from, right? Now I know I've been through this. I'm not gonna let the same thing happen to me twice. That's our psyche, right? That's where you are. But the other person has not given us any indication that it's gonna be what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on hold on. I don't mean any except, but I'm just saying this, right? But some women, like when I first got with Nicole, like I already knew about the whole town. First of all, I'm living in her town, so first of all, I already knew I was up against a lot because if her last 3 boyfriends, it was domestic violence, fighting, cheating, whatever. It was the same pattern. And fourth, and people thinking, damn, what makes this nigga Bam so different? What makes him like we
and
heard
then
this
you
before?
came with a disadvantage. The same disadvantage that Joe came with is that you're in an arena where on any given night you're around all these people.
women.
This is what
That's
the
been our
rumors
problem
are.
lately. But I had to get used to that because when I was with the last relationship, she didn't care. Because she was just, damn, I'm with Bam 640, I'm around Big G, I'm around Shaka, I'm around, when I was living in Woodbridge, like, she never got in no pictures or nothing. She was just amazed to be in the atmosphere. Like, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah, where I was totally different.
But
nobody, and that's how I was, like.
And then, but and us as women too, is that a lot of times when we go through these different relationships, we have our guards up too. Because we like, oh, what if he do this? What if he do that? Or if an incident occur, you gonna automatically put that with something that you went through before with somebody else. It might not even be the same thing or the same type of thing, but because you got your defense mechanism up, and in the back of your mind, oh, he got all these women around here and I'm used to men cheating on me. You gonna automatically assume that he got all these women around me, so he gonna cheat on me. And that's just real. Yeah. That's just real.
Yeah. But there have been, and like I said, Bam has, we have a history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Miami is that town. Miami is that town.
Oh.
But he's never, the rumors, that's why I said you can't go take the myth and assume it's the man. Because it's not.
Wow, they don't talk about me like that, buddy. When you're with the same person 27 years, they kind of don't think that.
Yeah. But see, and I knew that's why I do things different. Like somebody might say, man, let's hang out, go see Bam. Like, no, I make sure I have her with me before I could feel, like right now I got to make her feel comfortable now because this is still new to her, even though she knew me for all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, so
we were in Miami in 2016.
16.
And Bam, I know
I
you
was
remember
single
that.
then.
And he was single.
Oh my God.
But there was a rumor about something happened huge in this hotel. And I was saying to myself, what time was that?
What time was that? Can I Google that?
And I was like, it was a rumor. No, remember?
Oh, when I had all the girls in the whole,
Brother,
I had like 5 of them shacked up. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was single and I wasn't thinking about
At the time that
nothing.
they were saying that this has happened, remember you had gone to lunch with us.
Oh yeah.
At the
yeah,
time
they were saying
incident-
because the nigga done smashed the girl in the pool and they said it was me.
It
I'm like,
wasn't.
nigga,
He
I'm
was
on
with
the
me at a
outside. We at the
restaurant.
Versace Mansion drinking good.
He was
like
with us.
bosses. Like it's a lot of
That did not happen because I know where he was.
like somebody told
that
Nicole.
doesn't bother me.
Somebody told Nicole, Bam, before Bam met you, he never had a car. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Hey, look like this.
Never had a car.
But you know what? Some people do that, just because it's the nature of some people. They don't want to see you move on. They don't want to see you do better. They don't want to see you grow. But it's a growth process. It's another step in your life. And whereas
But that's what people they feed it, and they
just reveal it.
Like,
you gotta be thankful when you hear somebody say stuff
Now,
like
our
that.
last
So
argument-
you revealed yourself.
So our
Okay,
last-
cool. What do you want?
No,
You want
me
me to
and
feel
Nicole
something
last
derogatory? You're
argument,
gone. Like that's
a
how
couple
you get
days
down
ago.
to a good circle.
This is what she gets
I let
mad
that
about
go.
not understanding. It's
I'm
like
yep, real.
Like it's kind of like a gift and a curse. I have a lot of female supporters. I love them because, as you know, I all treat everybody with all respect. I don't act like I'm Big Willie when I'm in the club. I talk to everybody. But somebody put Bam, I love your show when it's our show and put like kisses all over. Oh my God, she went off. But at the end of the day, I feel like I can't control them. I mean,
Well,
but
the
we
thing
know
about
what it
it
is.
I'm gonna
when
say this: that when there, and I'm sorry, Shasha.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that there are so many inappropriate people on
right.
purpose.
That's
They
on
want to
purpose.
be
Thank you.
inappropriate to
Thank
draw
you. The
something.
buzz.
Right, they want that.
They want
I
it.
have
That's
been
right.
I have been in shows. It's certain locations that Bam and I like because of the food, and he likes the drinks. You know that. But there's never been a show. Anytime that he's at a show, he always knows, like, leave your drink here. You know, and the questions that we've gotten just behind those innocent, we have a report, acts, you know, leave your stuff here while you hosting, leave your drinks here while you hosting. As we're observing the party, just the banter, you know, he'll come back and forth where I'm at it, and the impropriety that you're trying to insinuate does not exist.
Oh, they always
And
hit me with that.
Oh wait.
not only does it not exist, but are you not having any fun? Why we're here? 'Cause
Right.
why are you paying so much attention
To
Oh,
something
they
else
love-
you
Yeah.
can't
But
even
you know
forget,
what?
but
Oh,
people do.
I have been faced with that one.
You
Like
have?
they have thought I had used to get all the ass in the world.
Oh yeah.
I'm in a full relationship for 27 years.
Oh
But-
wow.
Oh, yeah.
Where am I getting anything? And see,
Right.
the thing about it is, in order to be in a relationship like that, you have to be with somebody that's unbothered by the things
By the
that aren't
things that aren't true.
not true.
Yes,
There's first off,
exactly.
I want more time for her, so I know I ain't got time for nobody else.
Nobody else.
And then every woman that's gay does not want
Every
every
other
woman.
They don't want every.
They think you
every-
think,
It's
honey,
like every
because
man-
I know women, I don't want another one.
Right.
I know that's
Understand
right.
that.
And then, you know,
It's
and
too
I don't know
complex.
men, but I've been a woman all my life.
First
I
of
know
all,
this ain't nothing.
my money
Oh,
not
yeah.
that long. So listen, I can't pay bills over here and then take this one out. My money
First
is
off,
not that long.
no, hold on. And if you got somebody that you've been with, they already know what time it is. Forget
Thank
what
you.
time it is, because
Exactly.
Aisha was the second manager I've ever had. And the difference is that money, you're going to know what that money is and what you need to do to get it. Now, does she know I'm taking pictures? She be like, you know, I've never taken an inappropriate picture. You're not going to be bending over. But you're not going to do that anyway, whether I'm with somebody or not.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is, when you're unable to be liked, you're unable to feel the love. So there's a role that you play, and it's,
That's what
I
I'm
say a
saying.
role that you play. It's not doesn't mean it's not
That-
genuine.
right.
We have gone to shows and been sick as a dog, and you'll never know it because our job is to make you feel comfortable.
Right.
You have a good time, and this is the best
Put
place
that
on earth
aside.
right now, and
Right.
that's your
How many
appreciation
times
for
do
being
you feel
there.
like I feel? How many times have I said,
No,
man,
I
I don't
hate
even
it.
feel like doing
I was
this
like,
on
God,
today."
wait until you have a
But
3
it's
and
still
1.
your reputation.
We do 3 and 1s. That's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
shows in one day.
Yeah, we did.
And
too.
you
We
don't
have
know,
done
and
that
you
too.
when you are running, you don't. I mean, you keep running,
Right,
so
right.
you know.
And so in that arena, you do get, you know, the groupie types, you know, whatever else or whatever have you. And I remember getting a phone call. I hope you don't mind me
I
being
don't mind.
transparent about it. So I get this phone call one night. And it was, I think you called me first. And so she was telling me how that she thought that, you know, my son was being disrespectful. Because it was all these women around them, and not were they just around them wanting to take pictures, they were doing all some other kind of stuff too. So she was pretty upset because she felt like that he was allowing those women to be inappropriate with him. And I think it wasn't not so more the women, and sometimes we can be a little bit overly insecure about situations and everything, and dealing with, you know, women and our men or around our men and so forth. So it was a thing where the women were being inappropriate, and she thought that it was his position to say, you know, my girl here or whatever have you. So what he was telling me, he was like, well, Ma, you know, those my fans or something else that he said. And I said, you know what, I get that. I get that. But there's still a level of respect.
Was that the night that the girl sat on my lap and I took the
Yes.
pictures? Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean that's trial and error though, because you gotta go to it to get through it.
That's what I'm
Because
saying, and you don't
until
know
I saw what the picture looked like, I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, and on the other side of a different spectrum, I was in a picture with a male stripper, and they know I don't want it. I'm sitting there with the joint in my hand. I'm like, I don't want it, but it's right here. That's a shock picture, you know what I'm saying? That's me. I do shock shit. So, but it still was inappropriate because I have three daughters, and they know there was a wild side, but they were being
But
cared.
that's-
But
yeah.
in that's wild. I'm a host, so
Yeah. So you. Yeah.
the shock part of it keeps like whatever, and you don't think about it in the moment.
You don't think about
But
it in the moment.
just like
Absolutely.
that, I don't take inappropriate pictures.
Yes.
But
And-
my wife said, "Oh, no, your pictures were fine tonight. But what you need to do is protect your brand, because if their kids know you and you're hosting at their school and they want
They
their
wanna-
whatever,
right.
why don't you not take pictures with alcohol?"
Oh.
So,
I
because
stopped
I
doing that
started looking at all my other pictures, I was like, damn, I'm sitting here double fisting like this. And half time, I don't even drink the drinks because it got to a point where, Party with Purpose, they used to buy me $15 and $30 shots. But then I had the next day go beg somebody to help me get some canned goods to feed the homeless. You know what I'm saying? So I started turning that money that they would give me for them drinks into the money I needed to sustain my community.
But to go back to the
Go ahead,
domestic
Mom.
violence thing, even little small things like that, could lead to an all-out, fall-out, knockdown. Because she wanted to put his ass out on the highway.
I
and
was
then-
not.
Nigga, I got out
When
the
I-
car
when I
myself.
tell you-
Because he was talking trash. But, what I'm saying is that if you have to learn her, and she has to learn you, and then you have to learn how to separate, what was, or who did this to me, who did that to me. I can't inflict that on somebody else, that's in my life that is totally, probably more than likely going to treat me way better, than that. But I'm going to push him away because every time I see a female around him, I'm up in arms. And I got a problem with it. And we arguing about it. We're going to fight, but I'm going to slap the crap out of you. I don't want to see that lady over there or you no more. So we have to be careful, about that as well. And you have to understand, and then us as women, we have to understand certain things do come with the job. And I know that, and I get that, but there's still also a level of respect,
Absolutely.
that you have to have when you, like when I worked in the shelter system and I had the kids. Oh, I love to blow me some weed, but I'm not gonna be on nowhere and I'll be like, and they seeing me, oh, Miss Washington on there with her J about this big, and she's puffing and puffing. Not that I'm being fake.
Absolutely.
Because it's nothing about me being fake, but it's just that what I'm presenting and what I'm representing. So if I'm going to talk to the kids and tell them this, that, and the third, and they're going to look at me, well, you had this big old spliff, hanging out your mouth with your little drink on the side, And so, it's that sort of thing, too. So there is a line that you have to draw on certain things,
Right.
And
But,
particularly,
I
Doctor?
think that there is also a line that you have to see, and I think that's what Shasha said, is that where's the disrespect coming from? He didn't invite somebody
And
to
then it's-
come sit on his lap.
It's
It
the other
happened.
person.
And if he
He
said
pushed
to
him
you,
over and he
I was so
said-
uncomfortable about that.
Right,
But
and he
if
says
it would have
that
been more
made
drama
me,
for you saying, get over my girl now.
because
But
I'm
he
gonna
didn't
say
say
that.
that.
If-
But
see,
sometimes
that
in
was
the
the
moment,
thing.
in the
He didn't
moment,
say
But
that.
in a moment that he didn't say that, and even when we were having the discussion, and I said, son, and what I tried to do was, make Nicole, it's cool, it's cool, okay. But then I also spoke to him as well, and I said, whatever happened, I wasn't there. I don't know how the persons are, and you can't do something about a situation sometimes after the fact. This lady went and did that, or whoever she was, she did that. But to me, it's look, we can take this picture, but we'll be a little bit respectful about it. You can be close to me or whatever.
But everyone's
don't
not
be.
going to be a lady.
You know, just
Everyone
And-
is
and-
not
but that's
going to be a
true.
lady.
But I
easy.
feel
I
like-
learned. You have to learn the tools to deflect, though.
But you have to know.
Because all you
how
had
to thank you,
place
Shia.
the blame
Thank
instead
you.
of placing the blame on her. Don't do it because
Don't do it.
she's here.
Right.
Because don't come looking for her
Don't
to
come
see
looking.
whether or
To
not
see
you
what-
need to be unpro.
Exactly.
I put the blame on them. I'm like, you ain't gonna have nobody beat me up tonight.
That's
No,
what I'm
no.
saying. See,
And
that's
then
what I'm
if I
saying.
put
You
it on
have
you,
to-
we laugh about it, take the picture.
That's
But
right.
before those
the
tools are
understanding
right.
is there. And then,
Right.
No,
That's
I want
what
you
But
to
I
think
don't want-
about
I'm not
when
gonna
you and
offend-
I-
right, I'm not
the first
gonna-
interaction you and I had, and he and I said, introduce me to, because that's appropriate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
The being a lady and being appropriate means that when he tells you he's in that situation, you respect and acknowledge it. So the fact that there are people out here that won't respect and acknowledge does mean that he has to step it up a little bit.
They know
Yeah.
that
He
he's
has
with
to step it
somebody.
up.
They
He
know
has
that.
to
Right.
step it up a
Some of
little
them
bit.
And then
don't
the
care.
juice takes over, and some
it
does.
sometimes it's in
That-
people's personality. No,
Yes.
she's not getting anything more from the picture. No, they're not hooking up later on because he feels absolutely
'Cause
nothing.
he gonna
You
hold
have to
you.
focus. If you focus on anything other than what is, you are wasting your time.
Because what you're
Period.
upset about is an illusion.
It
An
definitely
illusion
is,
That
makes
and
it
the
part.
right.
people
That part.
and the people that water that plant, get rid of them
Get rid
Yes,
of them.
because
because
that's what
they always
want.
gonna be looking for
That's
it. Get
what
rid of
they
them.
want, and they want you and him to be boom
Get
boom,
rid of them.
or get rid of them, because some of them might be mad because he with you, or vice
Right.
versa.
Yes.
So they gonna pull out all the stuff.
And when they say that weird
'cause
stuff,
people
just
viciously
they weird.
do that, but still in that
Even
position.
the conversations that I have with him, I don't make them. We don't have you know how we don't, it's not public. These are behind the scenes
Yes.
conversations, and how is she? Did you clear it with her and let me know that? But this is what they want. They want the upfront shine, and that's just not who I am. Other people are like that, and maybe not definitively on purpose. Let's not even say that. But this is their mannerism, right? And in their mannerism,
Some of them just do it to
Some
get
people-
backstage.
Yes, some of them
When
in
you,
their
I promise
mannerism.
you,
Yes,
They
This
will
whole
do that.
DC arena
They like-
is
they like
so
the-
much
they like
different
the
than
hype.
Philly and New York.
Well, you from Philly,
From Brooklyn.
from Brooklyn.
So in New
Brooklyn
York-
in the
from
house.
New York.
So in New York, rappers don't, like, it's not like this. So this is an environment that I've seen people say all the time.
How many
"Go,
people
go."
have lied on me when you worked the door?
Oh my God, I can't.
How many
Like
people-
we don't know each other, but they just.
I be happy
These are
as hell,
not
though,
these
when they lie
lies.
on me.
Yeah,
These
look
lies be
Look what they
this
did
big.
to Jesus.
This big.
I'll be like,
Have
shoot,
tried
put me up
to-
there.
Have tried to
Put me
add
up
on to
there.
his tab. And-
Oh, I done got that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not
Right.
tried to. You done had some
Yeah.
getting.
So
Oh,
add
they'll
on,
get
add
you.
on, put it on bed. I'm
Sit
having
right
this
there
nigga and
as soon
drink
as
on
you
your
order
tab.
it. Then they come, they gone.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say something, and I know one day when me and Nicole first going out, right? I'm in Babylon, right? They give me a
And we
table.
love
everything.
that,
Hey,
right,
Joe,
and
Joe,
we
they give me a
love it.
table, everything, right?
We love
So,
it.
so this what they do, right? Her friends there, right? They think I'm this big superstar. I'm just in there chilling. I ain't even hosting this night. I'm in there hosting. Niggas buying me drinks, bottles,
Was
and
that
everything.
the last time?
I think it was the last time Kim was school. So her friends add a $70 on my tab, but I had the big promoters, the big guys in the game, who gonna book me for future shows. So I can't go off about a $70 tab. I paid the tab and everything. But that's one of the things that happened.
And you
But
got-
and then
you got
everybody
some
who,
weight.
if you know
Just
him,
know
you know that he's going in there. He starts the tab. He orders wings. He gets the if you know his routine, it's just not hard.
And then
Oh, my
yeah,
bad.
and the,
You know what I mean?
Sorry,
It's not
yeah,
hard.
and the people that serve you like that, they should know. Or
They know.
you know,
They
and-
know.
and-
they
want-
don't.
They want the
But they
tab.
want
They
that
don't.
money. They want that. They ain't thinking about you. They want
Right.
that money.
So, but this
We got
arena
those.
is just so much different than, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it or been there, but when you go to New York or you go to the tunnel,
I've never been there. I heard
When you go
about
to the
it.
tunnel,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
we paid about $35 each way. Boy, them toes in New York. We was
nothing,
back
right?
and we just did it
The
all,
tunnel,
man.
But the club,
tunnel or the club?
the club,
The
the
club,
tunnel,
the
right?
tunnel. Yeah.
It's
Oh, I
nothing.
never been to the
So
club. Oh.
Yeah, that's 35.
So when you go
That's-
to the tunnel, everybody is in there, and everybody is just concentrated on the battle and whatever is going on that night. And it's even if you go in as a couple, most people, you separate and circulate, and everybody does. And nobody, it's dark in there because anybody from New York will tell you nobody wants to be seen. You just want to be low key in there. So this arena here where everybody wants to be seen is a whole nother vibe for me. Like this is not, something that you're used to, or
It's not like
how many times have you seen on the news? It was a shooting at the tunnel. You
But that's just one place.
But another thing
But
I
it's
asked
the
this.
place. But
I'ma
it's
ask
the
this.
place.
I'm gonna ask this. By you working Go-Go, you been a Go-Go mom, you know all about Go-Go. Do y'all think that the Go-Go is going down? Because it feel like me, it just don't feel the same.
Oh, it's not the same because of COVID, but we had the last. The black event, it was off the hook.
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta remember-
the last COVID joke.
Look,
Yeah,
everybody was at the black event,
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
even
yeah,
mad
yeah.
that they couldn't go out anymore.
Okay.
right.
They had
I
enough.
sold about 40 tickets in that joint.
Now
They
I'm
had
gonna
had
say
enough.
that there are a couple of Barry had a red day, the day party, the red party.
And you
That's-
can live for it.
Oh,
You
that's
can live
that's
for
when
it.
I was crying in
And
front
you
of
can love-
everybody.
and you
Yeah.
can live-
Because that's
You know
when
what?
Lil Man first got killed.
First
I was
got killed.
was I broken up or what?
Mhm.
I was done.
But
I
that
was-
party, I'm talking about, we were this close. It
I'm
was the
telling
most
you.
fun I've had
I'm
at a
telling-
go-go
and you know
here.
what?
And you know who
That
else
vibe
I
is
like?
that vibe on the go-go is changing. I don't know if it's because
But I think it's I
my
think
gray
Go-Go.
hair started coming.
look,
I don't know, but
that's what I'm saying. I
had
think
a lovely time.
this is what I think.
Now,
I think Go-Go
it's
is
maybe it's the
officially gonna
ones
go
I'm going
off
to.
because the youth is now embracing the Go-Go. What happens when we want to quit?
First off, my band is not
When
quitting
I'm gonna
until
say
I
when we
leave
say
here.
we want to quit.
Oh wow.
What happens
But
when we
what,
want to quit?
but what I like is
That's
They
what
try to do it themselves and it
everybody-
sound dumb as hell.
Like my daughter, about she's 14, she just started listening to Go-Go, and she likes it.
Because of me.
So what
Yeah,
Bam
yeah,
said,
because,
so what I like Bam says is not really go-go. I like when they do
Oh,
the
man.
brunches and
Oh yeah.
And I like
Yes, that
the-
is the
yeah, I like
go-go.
the-
It is.
but what
Because I threw only day parties.
okay, right. So that
My day,
that
my day party
whole-
make you forget it's daytime.
But in the
Yeah,
evening,
yeah.
those big, that's too
alley.
overwhelming for me to relax and to have a good time.
As I'm masked up, I'm like,
Yeah, it's too
COVID,
Oh,
COVID,
even
COVID,
before
oh,
the
no.
mask. Even before
Right,
the
I was about to
mask,
say,
the
because I go to the
people-
door, and if it's
so
too
many
crowded, I'm like, oh,
people.
Me
oh.
too. I don't
Yeah,
play that
it's
But it was
like-
very scary for
all.
hosts coming back to that environment because
Yeah.
I've gotten, you had the fog and an area that's put in out as I got a compromise. I had thyroid surgery not too long ago, and I mean I couldn't do nothing. I came
Right.
in here had tape. I think I was in the bubble then, you know, just because it's just that serious. But we had to go in there and be comfortable. And then promoters, y'all stop lying. Stop lying. Because the Avenue, we are having the black event and coming out, whatever.
I better be on it.
Selfish plug. Yes, he is hosting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
stop lying to people. All that 100% check, mask a must. You think
Oh,
a
yeah,
mask
yeah,
is
yeah,
not
yeah.
a
And then
must?
you
We're
look
gonna
and see.
fog the
Uh-huh.
areas, separate the whatever, partying with your people that you brought. The road trips have to be 100% vaccinated and have a current COVID test. We're hitting the road and we're going to New York, destination party, whatever. But stop lying to people because people are catching this in parties,
People are catching it.
and we have to go there.
Display,
We were
And
at a party and there is a person that is
you
confirmed
leave
had
with
it
no
twice.
mask.
Right.
And
You
is walking
leaving.
around with no mask. And then you ask them to put the mask on, they like, but I'm drinking. I could really, you better poke a hole in it and figure it out.
But I feel
Yeah.
you think you saw
You
JY.
saying that.
I ain't never seen JY that far back. I mean, it's a good thing I know you. If you know him, you know him. But if
But
they
if you
don't know,
don't-
he was just like this. Oh yeah, hey, is that Bucks? And they're like, no, they wanted
Oh, yeah.
that distance between.
Yeah,
they
and I
not.
don't blame
They was
them.
not playing.
That's right.
Clear the
That's
stage
right.
out.
That's right.
Get the distance because you come off wrong. They looking for you to be like, oh no, you know. And I'm still curving people. You know what I'm saying? You like
She already know. I always, but when everybody asks me, when everybody asks me to host, the first thing I ask, man, I need a table. Before we talk about the price, I need a table. Because first I got to protect her, because she won't be around everybody. So that's.
But you have to protect yourself.
I know, but I'm worried about her first.
But you know how many times you gone into an event and you the reason and the rhyme, and then you don't have a place to sit down. Like you be like,
well,
and
that's the other thing. Like, we've been at events, and
Barry ain't giving nobody no table.
Well, no, we've been at events, and it's between me and Bam that and I've had to. He's had to go outside where it's so hot in there. Like, remember we were in there, the air wasn't working.
See, that's the difference.
You know what I mean?
That's breathing ground for germs. I cut all that fat off, and you think that. So you gotta stop living for the dollar.
That's right.
When you do, when you understand
everything.
And then there's a myth that you don't get the money.
We done turned down a lot of shows though.
You're absolutely gonna get booked for something that's for you. Do not let that be a factor in where you go and how you go. Because when you do, you just pay for your life.
That I was thinking about, me also being a victim of domestic violence. My son was really young. I don't know how much he remembers.
Who you talking about? Wilbur
in South
Oh, you talking about on Duke Street?
South Boston. Yeah, it started Duke Street, but then we went
But
to
mine
South
used to whoop his
Boston.
ass.
I live off of Duke Street.
I mean
one time you knocked the shit out. He almost fell off the balcony.
Yeah,
I remember I was young.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? And that's true. And one time I got into it with somebody, and I had my baby on my hip. I'm on Georgia Avenue, Park Road. So I got the baby on my hip, and this Negro swinging at me, trying to hit me. And I got the baby on my hip like this, and I'm standing on the curb, and he got my baby swinging on me. So I said, I gripped my baby real tight. I cold
That was Pootie, right?
That was Shay.
Oh.
Leon.
Leon was soft.
Stop that. We
on
TV.
So what?
I'm gonna tell you that the scariest thing was
and it was scary because I got my baby. So not only did I have to protect myself, I had to protect my baby too. So the only thing I was thinking like, oh shoot, this nigga gonna try to fight me right here. So I gripped my baby real hard like this, and I just said, Lord, please just give me one little knockout punch. And I hit that Bama so hard he fell off the curb. And so one guy passing by, it was a guy that said, beat that bitch ass. I'm like, why would you say that? I got my baby in my arm, and this man trying to fight me, and you gonna tell him to whoop my ass because I'm protecting myself, but not only me, but my baby. But doctor, what I wanted to ask you is that after you went through that such a traumatic, how did you come back from that, and how long did it take you to come back from that? Because it took me a long time to get myself together after what I went through. It was deep and it's a long story, so I can't go into it.
I was physically just hospitalized for over 3 months.
Ooh,
wow.
Just hospitalized.
Yeah.
So then I came home. I went to physical therapy. It was, I'm gonna say, about 2.5 years before I felt the safe and security within myself to be able to move around.
And he lived, but where did he go? Was he still like around? Did you still have a fear?
No, he's in prison in a wheelchair.
Wow, you shot that butt.
But this is what I'm saying.
And then there comes a time, I'm going to tell you what scared me the most, okay? It was 2.5 years later, we were going into year 3.
Okay.
And my
was he
son
locked up
said,
at that time?
but my son told somebody, please don't mess with my mama because she will really hurt you. She might be crazy. Ooh. And I said, Smooch, why would you tell somebody that? He said, because mama. So the week prior to the incident that hospitalized me, this person had come to my home. I had my children. I had just picked them up from school. And I stopped at the grocery store. I had some stuff in the car, and I was telling them, come on, y'all, let's gather this stuff up and let's get in the house. Y'all got to get buckled down. and the person got out of their car and came over to me in my car. So now I feel threatened. You standing over top of me in my car. And I never forget it. I took a bottle of salad dressing and came back and busted with the
Y'all
salad
women
dressing.
are
Cracked
All
him with
right,
the salad
Trev.
dressing.
Ranch.
And let me
I
get
know,
my
but you
kids
understand,
in
though.
Ranch life.
Let me
This
get
is what
my
I'm saying,
kids
though.
in the
Because
house.
I'm gonna let
Allow me to get
tell the
my
story, and then we're
children in the
gonna move on to a
house.
brand. This is what I'm gonna say. When I first met Nicole, and it's like,
Can we let the doctor finish what she was saying?
Go
before
ahead. You was finished?
step
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was
because
about,
you know.
let me get my, in that moment, you're in survival mode, right?
Yeah.
Not for me, not just for me, but I have to get me and my children
and your
into
children,
the house.
right?
That's right.
But the perception that it gave my son for
Was
him
that
to
you
tell
were crazy.
somebody, like, please, because she's going to act like this, and I'm afraid. So you're afraid of me. Not seeing that the harm that could come to you if I don't
Right.
behave this
If I don't
way.
protect you, yes.
If I don't protect you, you
Yes.
don't see it full circle. You don't see it past this. And he was very distraught. Like, please don't get my mom like that, because
she
she's
gonna go.
crazy. And I'm angry. Like, why would you
Yeah.
tell
And
somebody?
this-
He didn't. How old was
Why
he?
would you tell somebody I'm crazy?
this
Was
why.
he, was he a
He in the
teenager?
first. No, he's in the first, second grade.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
went crazy.
Right.
He
You
went
was
hard.
crazy.
Please
You know
don't.
you went
Yeah.
Yeah,
hard.
please don't do that.
Please
Because
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to deal with this
Yeah,
today.
and this-
I don't mean crazy.
Look,
I'm trying to look out for your ass.
And this is what I
He
understand,
didn't say,
though.
Mom, don't act like that. He said,
This
look
one
here,
is-
partner.
I'm
trying to protect
Look
your
here,
ass.
partner.
And Nicole,
She's
I've
crazy.
read, I've
Don't
Yeah,
do
you
that.
damn right.
your
And
story.
embrace that.
Yep, and
On
I-
Nicole's story is,
I-
and, but before you say that, Mom, when I met her and she's telling me, I mean, when I came for brain surgery, this man I'm married to, I gave 3 kids, and he told me, I wish you would just die, and all that. And I'm like, Nicole, why would you stay? She said, because my kids, and I understand because the way their kids are close with their father, the way they kids had that to me. I'm like, man, like, first of all, I could never do this girl wrong because I do want to give her the love that she never had from a man point of view. Like she got cancer, she had a brain
Dealing with all
tumor.
that.
Her best friend, when we talk about the master, her best friend husband killed her and their kids.
Oh God.
So she went in the house because she the only person that had the key, and she climbed in there and found all them dead. So
Lord.
I'm like, as much
That's
as stuff
therapy
that
in
she
itself.
been through, man.
How can you even
But
think,
Think
that,
about doing her wrong.
But it's not what you say.
Right.
You have to give somebody the actions that support that to make them feel the sense of
feel
security that
comfortable
you're trying to
that
do.
you're trying to protect them
You know what
as
I mean?
opposed to hurt
you
them.
have to.
Yeah.
She know I protected her at that backyard show.
Yeah.
She said, I never thought you and Big G would be arguing. I'm like, she was shaking and showing, sweaty and them. I said, one thing about that, you gonna let it go. So G talked to me, said, yeah, I understand why you mad. Like, when it
Yeah,
comes to my
that's
fiance,
it.
everything is
That's
off
everything.
limits.
Everything.
Everything is
But
off
let me tell you
limits.
this:
Stop.
people don't. Again, you have to separate the myth from the
From the
man.
myth, that's right.
It's a lot of people that do not have the best things to say about Barry, and I stand for him all the time. And I tell you,
Oh, yeah. That's why they call
I
me
tell you
controversial.
in 2 different instances, there's been danger imminent in the area, or something wasn't happening right, and he have grabbed me by my collar, or I've called him and said, I don't feel good, this is what's happening here, and he's turned his car around he said, look girl, I'm coming to, he said it just like that, like, look girl, I hope you know, I'm coming to protect you now, get it together, get your mind right. So
The other
even
had to
with
go because he said,
anything-
bam, all these people coming to Hollywood. I said one thing about it, we ain't having that. See,
and
so
even no matter what people say, what it looks like, when Joe was alive, and even in Joe's death, Barry,
Was there for you.
Bam, Sonny, anytime they see me, Billy the Kid,
My guy.
anytime they've never let me be somewhere and not say, are you
you
good
okay?
right here? And if something happens, they're coming
They
in my
did.
direction.
That means
We've been
a
in the
lot.
fire station. That fight broke out in the fire station, and Bam put the microphone down on the DJ booth and came to where I was and said, "Are you good out here?" So I don't, people can tell you what they want. The people I just named to you, I can give you instances where they shown me that my best interest is on their mind at given times. So if you're with somebody or in their presence or in those situations and that's not what you feel, then get out of there. That's
right.
not where you belong.
That's right.
If you're in a room where I say this all the time, if I'm in a room where I'm the smartest person, I'm in the wrong damn room.
Damn right.
If I'm in a room and
Somebody
everybody
gotta be
is
smarter
having
than
fun
me.
and I'm not having fun because I don't feel secure, I'm in the wrong damn room.
That's right.
And it's time to beat it.
Hey, look, we was up Society 66, right? Here we go to Society. So Michelle was up there, Taisha's sister, my oldest son, baby mother. So she lost her phone in Society 66. She said, "Bam, call my phone." I'm like, "I don't have your number." Call. Barry said, "Man, you better get Nicole to call it, man. She gonna forget if I'm that number later on, man." What I say on the break? Nah, dog. Nah.
right.
Nah, get
Very
Nicole to
good.
call it.
That's right.
I said, yeah.
Bam does have an issue calling everybody his sisters. No, like I met you, I know that y'all are close, Shasha, Raynell, Mia, but some of these females that he called his sisters, I'm like,
Damn,
I looked at
Lord.
him, I said,
No, they
I
ain't your
know
sister.
your sister.
No, I'm a
Because-
barber.
But I'm
They
saying
put
they
my
like
number under
family.
Shasha.
The barber.
I'm the barber. You know how many joints I get at 2 in the morning? I be like, "Hello," click.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
But
All right,
anybody
it's from
that's
it say client. So I'm like,
Anybody
okay,
that
boo.
is legitimately
Right,
in
yeah.
that space will take will take the initiative to let you know that this is the space that we were in. This is how we got there. And I told you from the beginning,
Yes,
Bam
you
and
did.
I something.
Y'all
I'll
helped me
never
out
be
today,
able
boy.
to explain it.
Y'all
But
better
Bam and I
know.
something different. And you said, you looked at me, you said, okay. And I said, one day you'll understand. We're something different.
Yeah,
see,
and then from a,
everybody
and
is
then
doing
everybody,
it.
and then from a different perspectives, coming from a mom's, point of view, is that your kid or your son. Let me just speak to him. So the minute is this girl, that girl, and it was that. It wasn't. That just comes with the territory, so to speak. And you have to understand that to a certain degree. But what my thing is that if I'm your woman or I'm your fiance or I'm your wife, we on a
Solid
whole
in that.
nother
You
level.
gotta be solid in
We
that.
on a whole nother
You gotta be
level,
solid
baby.
in that,
You
because
know, and
somebody's always going to cherish what radiates.
oh my God, yes.
Hold on,
Say
let me
that,
talk to you. Hey,
Shasha.
Shasha. Hold on, Shasha. I gotta ask you
It's
something because
it's like
listen, for the last month and a half, and I know you could tell this story. I know last time I got some backlash, but we don't have those type of people on the show. It's been a lot of young women that's turning gay, and this is one thing
I
that,
don't
that
know.
we've been
I'm
having.
not gay. I
No.
just play one on television.
Hey, look. No, but I'm just saying though. I'm just
Dave
saying though.
Chappelle,
Hey,
I'm that gay bitch that
hey,
loves you.
Hey, listen.
The black gays don't give
Hey,
a.
look. Hey, look, this what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, Shasha.
So we had a situation where young
And the black
listen,
transgenders.
and then we was talking about this. We have a situation we've been having in months that a woman is close to us and her daughters has been experienced gay and she don't like
to
it.
y'all on that. And
Right, but
this-
speak it again. Speak
All
it
right,
again.
this is what I'm gonna say to you. My wife, her parents didn't speak to me for 16 years.
Oh my God.
We were in a relationship that was respected. Our children did not see us have physical contact, until we were married in 2015. Out of respect. I respected them. I never spoke against them. I understand their boundaries because they are people that love the Lord. But what you
Yes.
they fail to realize is that was my biggest conviction. The lesbian community, gay lesbian community might say, "Oh, you have whatever. Let God show you. You that been Bible be." No, I want to die and show myself approved first. Forget what my physical desires. Forget what my mental needs, and forget my physical progression. I want to be honored to the Most High. And I don't have to prove that to somebody that bashes me. I take every thorn like one on my crown. And I'm aware.
right.
Poke me.
You go,
Because the more
Shasha.
you poke me, the closer you get to hell. Because I'm not worried about judging you.
Because you're judging.
You're judging me.
That's right.
So I go into your church and honey, I shout it down. And I'm not performing. That's the
'Cause that's what you
relationship
feel,
we
that's
have.
the relationship you
Because
have.
he knows that my battle is genuine.
That didn't
Transparency,
change.
that you
didn't
said that word.
change.
No.
That didn't change.
But-
You didn't transform because
but-
you were that. You
Right.
still had the love of God in your heart.
Her father
But
died. I
her-
was outside the hospital
Her
because
spirit
there was
is not
nowhere
her
for me.
soul.
That's right. Thank
Right,
Your
right.
spirit is not your soul.
Right.
You don't get me wrong. You
They,
emanate. You
they,
emanate.
they
a
hold
woman-
up each other.
That's
but-
what I'm saying. You
Right.
emanate a very good spirit.
Right.
Yes, you do.
But
definitely.
Yes, you do.
in the days that the challenges come, or the days that you go, that was the first thing I said to Joe. I can no longer do anything for your body. I'm calling the pastor.
Oh,
because
yeah.
now I have to save your soul. I have
Yeah.
to make sure your soul is
Yeah,
preserved.
but you know what? Your
That's-
soul knows
Your
before
soul
your
knows
judgment
before
tells
anybody
me.
else.
Like
That's
people would
right.
tell me, you need to. You know how many times the sermon has changed because they seen me in there.
Did they lay hands on you?
You can lay hands
your
on me as long
forehead.
as you telling me lay hands on me for everything because being gay
But-
was not the
It's not
biggest
just the
problem.
one.
It was not
Thank
the
you.
biggest problem.
Don't-
I got
What
a
do you
couple
have-
of addictions
like I'm
you
just
can help
saying- I'm
me
just
deal
saying- I'm
with
just
real
saying-
quick.
Don't put
Thank
me
you.
in the
But this is what I'm saying. As a
Because I'm-
parent,
as
if
a-
you don't agree with it, like
Okay.
what do you do? How do you deal with
let
this
me tell
situation?
you like this: we have 3 daughters, and this is because y'all already know.
Right.
But we have 3 daughters, me and my wife, and they were 4 and 2 when we got together. Now they're 31, and one just had a birthday, so she's 2 years behind them. And I didn't want my children to be gay because I know my skin was just tough enough. My mother is gay, and it came out that my daughter is also gay, but she has her master's in early childhood education. Her and her wife, who's an engineer, just had their 2nd child through fertilization. They've purchased their home, and they have a very nice way to live. And my grandson is 2 years old, speaks over 100 words, and can identify them if they're written. But people also said that me and her shouldn't be parents.
Well,
People also looked at us like we were beneath. We was at the Million Man March, and somebody stopped me with my kids and say they seen me and my wife on TV. We hid during that time because of her family. My family was out. My mother was gay.
and they
So I respected them. I respected them. And like I said, when her father passed, I was outside the hospital. I seen her mother in the most broken state I've ever seen a woman. And I want to say, go best friend. Because see how God is?
Right.
When you lay hands on me, lay hands on me for the relationship. I thought if she ever give me a chance to love her, I'm going to love her more than
More
anybody
so.
on this earth. She prays for me so harder than my wife.
wow.
And
Her mother, that I
deep.
did not
And for you
have
to
me in her.
say-
I done pissed outside of their house.
Damn.
for you to say
That's
that,
deep.
that
That's deep.
in your journey that you didn't want to
Look.
be, that you didn't want your
See,
child.
when you married when you with somebody 27 years,
It's
you start
2 hours,
and
what's
you
going
know,
on?
not that. When they feel you talking, you say the same words.
Yeah.
You speak about them and they call.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you like, is that God? No, that's what you
your
supposed to
mom.
be.
That's
Where
what
you
you-
supposed
that's
to be.
your mom.
When you supposed to be.
do. Yeah.
And I will tell y'all something. Somebody said, how y'all last 27 years? I'm going to hurry up. Because I have a million stories with her. I said, you know, if you got a Bentley and they get a dent, you going to throw it away? No, you
Right.
gonna
No,
get,
you gonna
fix
get
it.
it fixed.
We went through hell. We
Absolutely.
went through hell recently.
Absolutely.
That's me and this
The new
motherfucker
place
right
that we
here.
got, guess what
We
it's
go
called?
through hell.
Don't say
The Bentley.
motherfucker.
Oh,
It's not no motherfucker.
Yeah.
See, you
Yeah.
got to change your
Even
words.
manifest
That's
and
not no
speak your words
motherfucker.
to say,
Yeah, you got
that
to
I
change.
didn't want
You
my
got to
child
change your
to-
words.
Not that I didn't want my
Oh,
child
no.
to
Because
be
that's the
this.
woman that
I didn't
you
want my
love.
child to
Hold on.
go through this.
And she
She
did.
not no motherfucker.
When she
That's
stayed,
that's my
when she
motherfucker.
stayed,
That's not your
say that.
motherfucker. That's your
There you
woman.
go.
she stayed inbounds.
You
Everything
know I
was
taught you
good.
better than that.
When
son.
she came out, all hell broke loose in her life. My daughter was, and she's the most sensitive one out of all 3 of my kids. You're not built for this.
Right.
You know, you're
Right.
not built for this.
Right. And so
And
that's what
she was torn down because I had seen the looks that I got to the people that I put in her life that I hid. They know me, but you just see me as whatever. I didn't go to the school.
You the new contact
because I didn't want
she
her
the new
to
contact.
ridiculed because of how I look. I would not purposely cut my hair because I would not cut my hair because I did not want to represent her a certain way. So she said, I said to her, you know, her godmother, I would always throw her in there, or, you know, my mom or sister. So definitely I said, you know, grandma gonna go. And she was like, no, mommy, you are. I want you to go talk to my teacher. And he's a blazing queen. When I get in there, he's like, how you doing? Your daughter is everything. So, but anyway, I said, no, we're going to let her do it. I said, you know what, Tiara? She was in like probably second grade. I said, I just don't want your friends or your classmates to make fun of you because, you know, mommy doesn't have any hair or I don't wear makeup like their mom. And she looked at me, she said, Mommy, you are so beautiful.
And you
She
mom.
said, you're prettier than
mother.
all their moms. She
That's-
said, you
that's
can go
huge.
meet him. He's just going to
That's
tell you a
huge.
whole bunch of good stuff.
Right.
And when I got there, you know, for her to even say that, but that's just the creature she is, you know? And you think when you take things and you see what's in you and then you see what's in your mother and what had to be in her mother, and you just think about what you give birth to, that she was not, I didn't want her to be gay.
Shasha,
But I accept
And I
it.
think that there is a lot to say to
that, yes.
to that, and to say, like you said, you know, don't change the sermon on me because of what I look like. Change the sermon and pray for
With my heart.
No, but you
But
know,
you-
if you're
you
going to pray
understand?
for me,
Hey, but
know that I'm
Shasha,
ready to get down
I
for
heard
everybody the
something-
same.
Yeah, I heard
You know?
So
something.
pray for
Pray for
don't pray
everything.
for pray for everything. Pray
Right.
for my illness.
Pray for
for my
everything.
They
Pray
prayed
for
me
all
right
of
out. They
it.
prayed me right out of my
Hey,
previous
you the new
life.
contact. Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Because I was a hell
Hey,
of a
you the new
person.
contact. When me and Nicole argue, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you who phone goes off now. It's white boy Ryan. It's my mother.
Oh.
It's Barry. Now all y'all added to the contact.
But you know
It's
what?
a certain people that she would call.
But you know what? I heard something
Yeah,
that
very
was
your
so
relationship at
profound this week, and it kind of really resonated with me. And it was the whole thing that came up with the Dave Chappelle and all.
My God, my man.
Stupid.
But
I
we
watched
watched
that
it, and I didn't think it was a I didn't understand
I
the
did
amount.
not.
Culture.
I didn't see that. It's
The
the
bottom line
perception.
of I'm laughing with
With
you.
you.
He
And
is
that-
best
and
friend.
that's
He
what
said, I wanted to put it. I put it on his face because I thought it was
You know.
for a man to say that. It's
Yes.
like eating
Hey,
a
no,
pussy.
But
no,
what I
this what
want-
got me. He said he was in a restaurant.
You can
and
laugh
then
at
he said,
yourself.
he said,
Exactly.
he said he was in a restaurant. Motherfucker taking a picture of like you bitch ass nigga. Then he said his name. This motherfucker's gay. I'm
Yeah,
in
right.
trouble.
But
These
you know
motherfuckers-
what?
Right.
Something that was so profound, you know, is set with me, is that who you are or your lifestyle has nothing to do with what your heart is about.
Oh,
That's right.
They
That's
don't.
right.
But they
Period. Bottom line, they don't relate that
Yeah.
to that, which it should be, because, you know, when I look at you, I'm not looking at you, oh, she gay. She ain't got
No.
nothing that she can share with me, but I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling your heart. You know, and your choice is your choice. Whether it comes to whether you want to be gay, bi,
But, Mom,
whatever, whether you want to take the vaccine or not take it, that has nothing to do with you
And
as a
if you-
person.
And when
and
you're
who you
able
I'ma
to
tell you what.
open up to energy,
Hey, listen.
Yes.
you leave your
You-
physical
you leave
being
all
for the
that
rest of your
behind.
life.
You-
When
And
you
we-
said somebody brought something to you, I was like, woo,
Hey,
I'm so
leave
glad
that
I peeled
out
that
there.
banana.
That's
Because
what
it
I'm
take
saying.
one time for you to say revelation and redemption.
You
and
know
you will
what?
show it to me,
And
and
you
I'm
know
being
what?
redeemed
Hey, listen.
myself.
And we
I'm
just
gonna tell you what I
talked
did
about
that.
that.
And
We
you know,
just talked
you
about that.
know Dre, right? The gay people from the gay dude from Woodbridge. He always comes to Dominion Raceway all the time. He was
I know.
he was in Dominion Raceway, and people like, man, why are you rocking? Remember when I was rocking with? Why are you rocking with a gay man? Because I support
looking-
all my fans.
I'm looking past
Anybody
I'm
that
looking
support me.
past that
Look.
because that person is genuine to me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to stop doing, as a people. You might not agree with somebody's lifestyle or what they do. You might not agree with me because I'm 60 when y'all, and then, I can drop it like it hot when I want to.
Oh, hold on, Ma. No, Ma. We're not doing that.
No, we're not
doing that.
No,
tonight.
we're not
We're
going to do
not
that.
tonight.
But
She
what I'm
wants to
saying-
go.
But what I'm saying,
She grown. You
but
sit
what
down.
I'm saying is, if I did that, and you don't judge, she's
Hey,
61
Mom.
years
Oh, they
old.
judge
She's
this.
somebody.
You know what? Since you on that, you know what?
Listen,
We're
they
taking time to do
judge
that.
Hold up. She's somebody's grandmother. Let me just set the record straight. I'm
here we go.
somebody's great grandma.
Cheeks, me
And
love
I'm
you.
a grandma 10 times.
And you
now.
know what? And
10
that's what I'm
times.
saying is that, stop judging people.
Yes.
Just stop it. You're not the judge or the jury or this, that, the third. Look at my heart. Look at the genuineness of my soul and my heart. Look at my spirit. Because I'm trying to tell you, if I could help every damn person in this city, I would. I would.
And I'm
I
gonna,
would.
And
I understand.
and here comes Betty Griffin.
Oh, that's my mama.
And
And
here
then
comes
I
Betty.
understand
Yeah.
that, I've always, I come from a very big family. I'm the youngest of 13 children.
Oh, wow.
My parents always said, you don't need nobody outside, y'all your own gang.
Yeah,
There's nothing else you need outside of here.
yeah.
And as I've aged and grown, that has perpetuated into people are going to judge me.
Oh, absolutely.
And the only judgment that matters is when I get up and go look in the mirror. If that judgment is not something that I can live with,
Self-conviction is what kept me. I asked my wife to marry me. She said, "Okay, it's just gonna be me and you and Antoine." I said, "Okay." Then the girls wanted to come. I said, "Well, her father had passed." I said, "Well, I wouldn't feel right if your mom didn't at least know." She said, "Well, my grandma's there, so she's not going whatever." Her grandma always said, "And where you get that ring from? I know it's her." She on whatever slick with hers, but I said I can't do it. So I called her. I said, "Miss Mont," and she was talking to me then, but we weren't as close as we were. And our parents met when we got married
Wow.
for the first time in 2015.
Wow.
And we had been together since '94.
Right.
so
Wow.
they never met her
They had-
father.
Who? My mom has never met her father,
Right,
but
doesn't
my
her
mother,
father-
feels like she definitely knows her parents because that's all I talked about.
Yeah,
But I never talked about them derogatory because I understand where they're coming from. That's
Yes.
nobody. I don't need a cheerleading squad.
Same thing I'm going through.
Them, they don't. You just love their daughter. No, you don't. I never wanted her to hurt because they didn't like me. They would say
Right.
things.
Right. To
They
her.
would do things, and the thing that made her able to deal with them and us progress is my regression because I feel sorry for you. But
'Cause I'm great. You should wanna go
no,
to know
I'm
me.
really
I'm
not.
great.
I'm really,
I'm
I
great.
really, I was on a process of, but I treated everyone very well, and I treated women well because of the men that treated me well. I took everything that I loved about how to treat a woman and just was able to do it. So I wanted them to know how I loved her. So when I asked her mother, we were gonna have a ceremony, and Aisha, feels a certain way about you knowing that, because I told her, and we kind of had a little something, and I put her mother on.
I think that dog
on
been-
speakerphone.
I think your
Don't
dog
bring
been
up
watching
my
you.
dog.
Your dog
wasn't
been watching
even
you.
here.
Her dog trying to hunt me on leg. I'm like, damn, what the fuck y'all been doing for this dog?
Well, if we listen, I ain't gonna say.
Medically, dogs go off.
First off,
I ain't
Right.
I walk in the house to get a haircut.
my dog only has one testicle. Don't blame them.
From Saint, so what do you got on?
But so her mom's on the phone, and I said, me and Aisha are getting married on Valentine's Day, and I just wanted to tell you because Mr. Mon isn't here that I just want to share my life with her.
That's
And I
respect.
said,
That's
this
respect.
is the thing. I do not want to be the reason if there is a fiery hell that your daughter ends up there.
Wow.
I
That's
said,
deep.
I want you to know, because no one ever asked me in all the churches I've gone to. That is my biggest conviction. So I don't want it for myself. So I couldn't possibly want it for the person that I feel God sent me,
Wow,
saved me
That is so deep.
from everything. So my biggest conviction is that, and I don't want to be the reason. And but I would not further our relationship without you knowing
That's
what
why.
it is. And she was like, well, why would she say I didn't want to be there? I will be there.
You know, because that's her
And
child.
she started, and my wife was crying so hard. And I was like, sometimes I'm telling her on the phone, I'm like, tell your mom you love her. And so this was back in the beginning. She was like, I love you, Mom. It's because they never got off the phone like that.
Right.
My family like kissed me 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Love you. But she loved. Her mother adores her. Like,
that's
but
wonderful.
so they do it now. They changed. They formulated it. So even still, like her mother, I don't know how she feels about that conversation, but I know how I felt the first time I was able to sit in her living room. So you understand the process, and you'll respect the progress, and then you'll be able to protest.
Yeah, and people need to just stop judging.
But they do, and when you do that to your own child,
right?
When you do it to your own child, you're saying, Most High, whoever, what you've given me is not good enough.
Yes, it's messed up.
This broke.
And you gave
this is no good.
Yes.
Also, if you gave you a child with a missing limb,
or
a speech impediment, or autism, or any of the other things. First off, because being gay is none of those things. I don't know whether it's true. I don't get into that because for real, that's a waste of energy. Why would you? I don't need to know. I'm dealing with it, and what hurts me most is the people that can't deal with it.
But that's
why I didn't want my daughter to experience it, and she did. Yeah. And she was so hurt, and I seen it, and I was like, telling my wife, I said, you know what? Tiara is gay. I was like, and it hurt me because she's never lied to me. She's like, Mom, why would you say that? And but all that. Knew. Yeah, and she ended up, married to her soror. They both AKAs, and they're beautiful individuals, and they are a powerful couple. But had not I made you a powerful child, I told my daughter I never lied to her. She asked me 2 things that I did not want to tell her the truth about. Am I in jail? And was I gay?
And you answered those honestly.
Oh, I'm not going to lie to her.
Because you can't break the trust.
Because if I can't be myself,
child,
she could never be
who
and
she
that
is.
is the only problem I had with her. She felt like she couldn't come to me
herself.
When that transformation. Yeah. But because that transparency was there, and I don't know if she expected me to cheer or she knew or felt that I did not want this for her. Not I want you with a man to whoop your ass or to love you forever. I don't care what your choices are. I just know I don't want the world to hurt you. And see, the world hurts the lamb. And until I was the lamb, I didn't get it.
You didn't get
it. Or the slaughter don't seem like slaughter.
Right.
Hey, you don't get the respect. I don't think you get the respect for what you do because it's like every holiday, you always dropping off canned goods and turkeys to all the people.
We cooking 150 meals.
Yeah, and also you don't do every year for your birthday. Why you don't wait till this month to do it? You always have your pink and black party for the black party for the cancer victims, and you get all the families and all that stuff.
I do chemo cuts. Where they're going through the process, so you have to cut off all your hair.
Yeah, she a barber.
Why did you tell me that?
You didn't know she was. Oh yeah. Oh my bad.
We cut your hair down. We create a beautiful environment and experience. Food. Your family is encouraged to be with you. If someone in your family gets their hair cut, I cut their hair for half price as long as they can show me 2 messages that you sent to the person going through treatment in that week on different days. So that you continue to encourage somebody going through something and be somewhere it benefits you. I don't charge for the haircuts that day. It's not for one, if God gives you something, please understand that you must and please understand that if you ignore the call of
the God.
I just can't even say nothing else. I promise you. My life changed. I mean, I went from going down Georgia Avenue with my arm out the window shooting at somebody. Like, I come a long way. Yeah. And it's not for honor that I braggadocious. The things that I had to repent for. I really still think in the middle of the night I cried because of the person that I wasn't. Because I see people that don't see nothing but themselves, and it's a scary sight when you fail to see the purpose in your life.
And there is purpose.
Or when you see people that are so gracious to you and
Oh, and then you don't understand that.
And you
like
don't know where I come
probably,
like,
And you
just
don't
don't
know
know
the
this struggle,
story.
this
That's what
struggle.
it is. You
And I
don't know
had to
my
tell
story.
Ben
You
something
don't know where I
very,
came from to get to
You went to something very
this.
personal.
Oh no, I already
and
know.
hurtful.
I was
Oh,
on
yeah.
the arm with him. 'Cause
Everybody
first off,
said-
it take an evil person that in your transparency they would take, because everybody done been somewhere where they weren't proud to be.
Thank
but
you.
if you
Yes.
own it enough not to hide
But-
it,
but what
but
that
if they
is-
But
exploit
so I
it,
contacted him personally,
Right.
privately,
That's
and I
evil.
said,
That was
I
evil.
said, I'm contacting you privately,
Right.
but I need you to know it's easy for people to be by your side when the sun is shining.
oh,
I had a lot of people.
I wanted them. I wanted them to hear me.
That part.
I was on
that
live.
part.
No, I was
When,
on
when,
live.
I know what you're
I
talking
was
about.
on live.
I'm talking about when I got
When it's
evicted.
raining.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you how much
I was
pride I
live.
had. I wasn't gonna call nobody expert. I didn't even call my mother. My mama
What
found out
okay.
because somebody sent my
But
mother a
hold
picture.
up. But what did I put on the thing this early 2 days ago?
Yeah.
I'm an emotional being. I'm
Me
a
too.
Gemini. And I don't. If you think it's drama, just that's cool. You got your opinion. You're
Yeah,
probably not in my circle.
exactly.
But I don't care. Deal with your evil. I just leave you over there. But and this is also a process for me.
Yeah.
After I had my thyroid removed, I had a breakdown.
Mhm.
I came back on this show on my 51st
Birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, I said make sure your ass be here.
What?
51.
Yeah.
Girl.
And
I would have never guessed.
it was mental health awareness, and I had a breakdown after it, and it tested my relationship, tested a lot of things. Just recently, my landlord came into my house. I was in boxer briefs and a wife beater, and I was in my bed, and I woke up to him standing at the foot of my bed, and somebody he had brought in the house on my right side of my bed. Excuse me. I had been in therapy all that time and felt like I had made some progress. I have fought a lot of men in my day, in go-go's. I couldn't move. I couldn't say, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't speak. And the toughest part of me had disappeared. And the person that had gotten raped and molested on the floors of laundry rooms
Dang.
appeared. And I realized in that moment that therapy with somebody that just let me talk instead of talking to somebody that had walked had disappeared. And I was at his mercy. I'm sorry.
You ain't gotta be sorry. This is what we do.
I'm sorry.
We family. You know that. You ain't
And I
gotta be
don't
sorry.
reach out to say, to
Uh-huh.
comfort. I reach out to say, we're here.
Yeah, and that's
It's
an
a
important
difference.
thing to
But-
know.
Don't
that
want to
somebody's
violate your space.
All I
I'm
could do,
here.
no, I'm comfortable. I don't know why I couldn't do nothing. I reached for my phone and I'll show y'all the pictures. I took his picture and I took the gentleman that I'd never seen. I only seen the landlord twice. And he looks like the man that say he's in this holy temple. He's about 6'3", pasty complected,
This is on by White Street,
sunken
y'all
eyes.
down there?
Yeah. And you don't understand, they didn't try to back out. They didn't say, oh, we didn't know somebody was here.
in here, yeah.
The AC had gone out, and he didn't knock. I have a dog that barks like hell.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of that. He had dropped off 2 fans to comfort us. We didn't conflict, say, hey, we don't want no damn fans. Blah, blah, blah. We lived with it. And he stole something from me that day. So he stayed there, and I tried to reach for something to put over me and walk out. And I thought first, like, damn, I'm not going to ever be able to protect Aisha if we're in this situation. Because surely I would reach over and shoot you. Surely. That's why it's here. That's why I'm one that, I used to sleep with a knife under my pillow. My mother said, put them by the bottom of the couch so that you can fake like you're falling, come up and y'all. If anybody ever in your house. But I found myself.
But that's worse.
I found
Hey, look,
myself so
we've been in stations
vulnerable.
worse. I remember even
When you say you shot him,
listen.
it stomped me because I was like, and it's hard for me to tell people, and because I don't know why. I just knew at that moment, and even hereafter, that the therapy I'm getting is not working. That there's issues that I think are been and have been addressed that need addressing.
Yeah.
Not because you cried, because a part of me died
Hey,
inside on them
With that-
floors.
that
Hey,
moment,
listen.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you a
And-
story even worse than that. I remember when we was young, and you remember we just did the Irish City Smokehouse, right? And
You talking about the man that came in the window?
yeah. And I told you, I said, when we moved to DC, this is the first apartment my mother ever lived in. I never forget it. 1312 Gallaudet Street.
Yes, right.
I never remember when I said that's the first apartment we lived in. I showed you that. One night I was young, and this is why I love my sister Pootie so much, because she saved our life.
She did.
A nigga came through our window,
Mm.
and I woke up because we had two bunk beds. She was on the bottom top, I was on the top.
Wow.
And I seen the dude grab the knife, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. I seen the nigga.
They had a dresser with a mirror.
Right.
And so when
The
he
nigga
came
broke in
through
our
the
house.
window, he actually soldered, because we had one of those
Shut
iron
your-
mesh.
Yeah.
He actually
I haven't slept
soldered
since then,
a
you
hole big enough for his little skinny ass
Are you
body
lying?
And
to get
I'm gonna
through.
tell you what saved my life. My sister cried and woke up.
And
And
I
when she
got
cried and woke up, the nigga, I don't know how he flew out the little window.
He
flew out
out
the little window.
through that hole. So by the
Yeah,
time,
but see, Polly
but
Glass.
you know what? By the,
Yeah, that's how they got
but
hurt.
I realized, and that was just a mom's instincts, because I had a 1-bedroom apartment. So I had the babies back there in the back of bunk bed. She on top, he on the bottom. And so I hear something. I was like, what the fuck? And I had this little pistol. And they told me if I'd have shot that pistol, I would have shot myself in the face. Because the pin in the pistol was messed up. But I had the pin under, I slept on a sofa bed. My kids had the bedroom. I slept on the sofa bed, so when I hear something, I get up. And so when I get up, I said, oh shit, something ain't right. She's sitting up on the top bunk looking crazy. And he had got up, and I was like, what the fuck? So I slowly stepped through and looked and saw that he had soldered a hole through the
He
iron.
wanted
I
them.
think he was
He
trying
wanted
to
them.
rob, because mom was moving
No,
at
he was
work back
getting
then.
it.
No,
Back then you ain't called smoking with reefer with the envelope.
No,
Mom, you
it
was moving a reefer right
but
there.
I'm just
She
saying.
was moving a reefer.
But I
It
don't
was
think-
reefer back then.
No.
Reefer.
Herb.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
It
With
was
the envelopes.
herb.
You ain't had.
But you know,
church
but no,
Right.
But no, listen to
The
this
ties.
part. No, he wasn't coming for that.
No.
The dude had took his clothes off.
Oh yeah, he was coming. He
At
was
the
coming
win-
for that.
at the-
Oh,
at
yeah,
the-
he
was
did.
coming
It
for
was
He
niggas,
left
yeah.
it,
Your
that's what-
sister.
that's how they
Or your
found
mom.
him, because he left his
Clothes.
clothes.
They found him?
No, the boxes, everything else was
Outside.
outside the window.
Oh, he knew
so
what he was doing.
Oh, he
knew
been
what
watching
he
you.
was doing.
No.
So
Yeah, or either
evidently,
baby girl.
I was a new kid on the block.
Yeah,
I was the new kid, and I lived in the last building. So whoever it was, they had to live right on that
Yeah,
strip
yep.
because he got away entirely too fast. When I'm coming back there with the peas, I'm like, oh shit, you know. And
Now
I'm
you see
running-
where I get it from.
yeah, and I'm running
But you
back
know.
there to see what's going on. This man had actually soldered a hole big enough for his body to get through.
Because he
easily.
flew out
But
there,
you know
motherfucker.
what?
I seen him flew out the window.
Let me tell y'all about this though. And so yeah, I have had a problem sleeping and getting up out of there and everything else. And I just, I believe in the transparency because I share my situation with people that share my life with me. Everybody sees Josh they'll be like, oh yeah, we want to be, what's going on? They think that your life is wonderful. But the people that know Sharnice know that it's a process. So I was so like, damn, I can't sleep in here. Like, my wife's like, you're not sleeping. And my eyes are dark now.
Yeah.
We had to find somewhere to move. This man has, whenever he called, like our garbage disposal stopped working. And I was like, oh God, we got to
You
call
still
him.
at the same spot?
Yeah, but they was like this. we're gonna send him. Instantly, I started
They're going
panicking.
Yeah.
Like, he don't mean me no harm, but, and it's just, humans need to understand that women are women.
Women are women.
Yeah, women are women.
And
Female.
I didn't beat, I didn't have some nice ones. I didn't took some nice punches in my day. Some joints you can be proud of. Like, I was in the pit at the Ibex, honey, 5'5"
yeah.
and WO, and we fought every certain quarters. We like, niggas, we ain't worried about this from Virginia. Like, we fighting and shooting out
I
here.
remember them
So,
days. Virginia
so
folks
I'm
coming
like,
over
you know,
Mr. Bridge.
so conflict has never been a problem with me. To fight outside of what I love,
Yeah.
I will never. And being a victim of domestic violence,
Yes.
I was unable to fight my situation. Well, that's another story. So I thought, you know, I'm so damn. I keep telling my wife, I'm sorry, I don't want to break down like this. I don't want to break down like this and keep, because it knocks my progress from the breakdown.
Yeah.
So she said, go through it. And I was like, you know, we finally, and you never know, we got decent and everything else. I'm like, God, why are we not being able to find, we about to buy and can't find somewhere for 6 to 8 months? Why is this happening? But I don't question God. I say, if you go through, child, I mean, when I say to the point, the man then put glue in my lock, $150.
What?
Ladies say, hey, no, we're going to run it. It come back. If it don't, $800 y'all put down, get back 2 days. No, we not. I don't never say that I'm so lovely off that
This don't
you
hurt.
can never
This
say
don't
it.
bother-
They
yeah.
can't, because we give away a lot. In my business, we've given away over what, $3,000 worth of food this so far, and so we going live. Well, I'll tell y'all about that later. So don't worry about it. And I said, you know, I didn't have any reason to pat myself on the back. And then we got a place, and the name of it is the Bentley.
Wow.
So remember when I said if you got a Bentley, now, and our relationship had been tested, and I said if that Bentley has a dent in it, do you throw the car away? And it's just God telling me, you shut up. When I sit you down, and when the first thing that started my breakdown was I had a conversation with God. People think that's crazy, but he said,
No, it ain't.
look, you about to go through it. If
Been
you
there,
choose
done
me
that.
right now,
I
I'll
got
be with you.
I got
And when
you.
the hell started breaking loose and I walked 14 and a half miles in a sweatsuit and was Martin Lawrence and all this stuff was going on to a person that's sane, that does for so many people, God will take you somewhere that you have been just to say you have been there.
Don't
Because
start
that's
me
the
shouting
only
up in
way
this
you
young
can
head.
ever, a doctor don't need to heal you. Somebody
Don't
that
start me
can
shouting
tell
up
you how to
here.
fucking feel in the middle of the night to be up at 4:30 looking at a corner, hoping a fucking person you ain't never seen in your life don't come in your house. How could you sleep? To sleep. Forget what your son said. Tell him how difficult it is to be in your own house. My wife wanted to go out of town. I got a ticket and met her in Miami. She was gone one day. You know what the people said? Shaw don't trust you. She following you to Miami. No, Shaw just had a very traumatic experience, and
My wife
nothing makes
ain't let
me
me go to Miami by
nothing
myself.
makes me stronger
Hey, look.
than my wife. I could not sleep. My godson came over by chance. Godson.
That's God.
Godson
God sent
came
him
over
there.
there.
And let me
That
tell you
one
something.
night I had to be there.
Yep, God sent him
Hey,
there.
you remember?
You know?
And people don't- people
you know what's
don't relate that.
so crazy? I really thank God. Like my mother, Miss J, who been there. You has been to me. I remember the first time I met you. We was at Pearl Lounge. She said, "Man, you bigger than DC."
Mm-hmm.
And you put me right on 93.9 KYS. My first single on 93.9 KYS. The video that I had my mother in, Only God, and that's what it
I
is.
did not like that video.
You
It was.
Yeah. You said,
I did not like that
Said,
video.
I was making the arrangements. We're going to Miami. I said, well, who are we? He said, I said, I need the names to book. He said, well, I gotta find out, but it's this guy Bam. And,
oh man.
He said, he told Bam that when we got there, he said, don't let nobody here intimidate you or tell you that you don't belong.
Oh, they tried.
Don't let
I
them
remember the first time where we was at
My
we
first
was
show in
in
Miami was hell.
and Joe asked me, he said, how much money you got? I said, I got like 800 on me. He said, well, here go another
Here
seven.
go another
Seven. do what you do.
Oh,
Live your life.
wow.
The first time I
And
met
you
like
know
Russell.
what? And
like
you
he
was
always
just-
believed. Like the first time I met Joe said, "Well, I want you to host this. I need you here.
said, "Don't let
I need
nobody
you."
tell
And
you
then,
that
and
you
then
not
you know
true.
I'm a no limit guy, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna put you on stage with Mystical." I'm like.
And when
Nigga.
that happened, because you get thrown in the fire, and you'll never forget that first time you thrown in the fire. Mine was one of, that's why I tell people, humility is something you must own.
Ooh.
Because my greatest moment came in the moment of humility. I was working with Antonio, and I went in there and I won tickets. I said,
Yeah.
I'm about to write them a note. I said, look, I would rather do what I love for free than get paid for what I hate. If you need a slave, call me. And I put it and folded it up and put it on the one of the vehicles. And I ended up working for them for 7 years.
Wow.
Right.
But Antonio said, come in here, do this event, RFK. And I said, all right. So I got Armani outfit. It's got the cuts in it. I'm about to kill him with this. I catch the subway over there. I'm about to kill him with this. He said, you think you about to get in front of all these people with rips and shit in your shit? I said, this...
ML.
I was about to say, this is Armani. And then I looked at him, I said, am I dressed inappropriately? He said, you never know where you might be. He's like, yeah, so do you want to go and come back? Because I'm always an early person. I told him that on the way up here, I'm always early. I said, I'm going to go and come back. I'll be right back. I called Aisha, crying, bring my clothes to the subway station. I changed in the subway station.
Wow.
I get there, he put me in front of 10,000 people.
And that's another thing.
And I could have been that asshole that said,
I ain't doing that.
fuck
You want me to change
this
it?
shit
Fuck
for
you.
free. I'm out there putting up banners. And when I got back, he said, yeah, you look a lot better than you did. Come and fuck on. And that's how you got to be able to give it and receive it.
That was the
that's
moment. Joe gave them that money. We went to we were there. I went to eat.
We went to
Me and
Versace
Joe
Mansion. We
didn't-
living big too.
Me and Joe didn't drink. We just ate.
Mm-hmm.
They had the buffet there.
And the bottles. He gave all the bottles to me.
He gave all
I
the
drank all the bottles
He-
right
I
here.
know
We
it.
gave all
I'm
the
in Miami.
bottles.
I would've
That was
loved
the first
him.
time.
And then
I mean, back on my
that
oh my
But
God!
this-
Then came back, and they were saying, "Bam was in the pool. In the pool where?" They said he was at the. I said, "Well, what time? Well, why you care what time? What time?"
Yeah, they lied on
But
me.
see, that's how,
No, it
but you
wasn't.
know
He
what?
was
The
sitting next to me
carrier of it.
drinking.
But you know, and that's what people do. And,
You know,
That's what they do.
and you know what?
That's what they.
people
That's
do,
when you
and-
know you're
and
really
you
on
know
your
that-
way.
That's when you know.
And that's how
You're
we
really
do
on
it.
your way. That's when you know you're
Do the
handpicked.
food and
And
drink.
that's-
I don't drink. I'm gonna get my money's worth. We
They
take
know me.
care.
I'm
I
a,
know
hey,
I'm
listen,
gonna get all my money.
if y'all don't know me, I'm gonna turn down some pussy to eat some
it-
food. I'm gonna eat me a good meal. We
you
already
don't
know.
know.
Hey, look.
So I'm
But-
like,
but-
drinks there. That's what the whole thing. Like, bam, come on, because we don't drink. We not. This
Shit,
is a
I'm
waste
here
of
for
time.
all
Waste
the
of
bottles.
time.
Hey, look.
Me too.
Hey, one thing about that
You
though,
know, invite
and
me,
when I
I'll come.
met Nicole, she's like, "Babe, I got this book when I want to put out," and then the falling out went out with my other host. I like. Nicole, you got it. It's like she didn't even believe that she could even be on this show. You could be on this show.
And
I'm
that's
trying to tell you,
in
I'm
your
gonna
life.
train
The
you.
first time I
Yeah.
said, "Oh wow!" I had just been up here the week before.
Yeah.
I said, "Wow, when did? Oh wow!"
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that you can fall in and out of love with somebody, but you can love them and not be in love.
but not being loved, and you
You
don't
should
necess-
love everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to necessarily be with that person,
Right, and
because you
there's
love
there's
them.
not going to be a physical disconnection nor connection when there's something that's conditional or for the condition.
Exactly.
It's just going to be
Just
a
like-
change
like
in the
Bird.
condition. But
People
y'all are
don't-
changing the mission
That's right.
because
God does
one
that.
to take
People
on.
tell us that all the
yes, he
time.
will.
Oh, I
yes,
know.
he
I
will.
had Horace.
Yes,
My
he
man
will.
Horace was my biggest
Because
competition
you
on the show.
even changed.
But you
like
know
his,
what?
he not used to not be that exposed.
No,
it's
and
the
you
meaning.
know what?
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
tell you
see, I
something.
told you.
Speaking from a mom's perspective, is that, you know, I see it, and growth is growth.
Right.
You know, and
I told you that.
positive growth is everything.
It is.
You know, and you don't know how often I've prayed for myself.
Oh, I do, because I got 3 girls. I definitely
You don't
do.
know how often I've prayed for my son. Lord
my
Jesus
grandsons.
knows. And my son and I went through a very, very dark period with each other.
She don't like my cowboys.
You
though.
know, I don't like no cowgirls. I'm never
Never.
gonna like no cowgirls.
Never.
And let
But
me
it's
just
been
put
times
that
the
out there. I
band
love
has
y'all.
been
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
But
that
you know
and
what?
that I have to tell him in the message, like, I'm here for you and I'm praying for
If
you.
I didn't
But
go
He
through something
always
with my
says, you know,
Oh, as a
the
lot
one
of
I
people,
came out
a
of.
lot of
You know,
things I
I'm
went
here
through,
and
I
I'm
didn't want my
praying.
mother, like, the whole eviction thing. Like, somebody sent my mother the pit.
But
But
you know
you
what?
know what?
She don't
I'm
want.
good.
She and you know what's so evil about that is not only do they want to hurt you,
They
they want to
wanna hurt
hurt
your
you.
mom.
And I'm gonna tell you how the evil is though. You gotta even welcome that evil and know that you're about to deal with it for you to have dealt with it the way you did. Because I was like, fuck them.
Yeah,
But
I
Put
know.
me
know
on.
what?
I was
But
like,
you know what?
because they
Let me
tore
tell you
they tore
something.
down a relationship with accusation. I would talk to him when he was in Barry's store. I was talking to him on the live.
Yep.
But,
You
but-
talk about a pissy ass $25 bottle or something. Keep your. Please
But-
don't give
but
my
listen.
people no money that you have to
Yes.
call up. Don't ever give somebody something.
But listen,
That you gotta track
even
down.
with all
But-
that, you know, and as a mom, you know, and just being,
But
you know, real
Did
and
he heal it?
transparent.
The healing. I told
My
you that.
son and I went through a very dark period.
Right.
You know, a very dark one that was so vicious and so ugly and so disrespectful and so, you know, and I didn't understand it.
Because the devil will use your kids.
I didn't understand
When all
it.
the other doors
I
are
was like,
closed.
why would my
Your
son
friends.
put me on? Not only
Your
say the things
everything.
that he said, but
He ain't mean 'em.
say the lies. But that was something that devil had got into the relationship and said, look, I'm going to tear you down at all costs. Because you know what? Too much is given, much is required. And so when God is trying to elevate you to another level, not
You
only
got
was
to
he
go.
trying to elevate me to another level, he was trying to that worked through my son to elevate me through another level. And I had to learn a sense of humility and love that I had never seen before. Because I wanted to beat the shit.
It's something else. It's
My
something different
wife-
with a
hey, look,
man
my
child.
wife-
It's
Hey,
I
one thing
wanna
about
say,
this,
when
hey,
it's
look.
a
God did
mom-
not say the weapons would not form.
But he said they would not prosper.
And
Right.
But you know what?
I tell everybody.
I didn't know
anything
that.
you sincerely doing from your heart and with good
I'ma
intention.
But you know what?
Does
That
not
wasn't-
have to be a public show.
That wasn't a
Everybody
good
don't have to know
intention.
about
Guess
it. You
what?
don't need
That's
no
what
That
I
wasn't
say.
a good
That's what I say.
intention.
gratification from
The
it.
devil put
I
that
say
out
that.
there
Well, I'ma tell you
for
what
every
it was for me.
listen, for everybody
Boy,
to
after you
see.
say,
For everybody to see.
And I'm glad I
And
didn't.
I was so I have
I didn't
never
see none.
in my entire life, and God knows I have been through the gamut. And people sit up there, well, how you get through that? How you still look like? I do not look like what I've been through.
Amen.
And I thank God for that. And I thank
progress.
God for the strength to know that even in spite of this, I'm still going to prosper. The
And how
weapons
about
were formed.
You
They
gave
were
him
formed.
one day.
And
Did
they
you
were
call to
put
check
out
on him
there.
the next
right.
time?
They were put out
Because
there.
I checked on him throughout the duration to say,
Yeah.
are you stable? So don't
Right.
say you
No.
gave him something on that one day that you saw he was doing bad
But
and
guess
didn't
what?
see him.
I
through
learned.
that.
I learned
But
because
don't say
people
that you
close
did-
to
don't
me,
do that.
people really that are you're most vulnerable to them. So I
Oh,
don't
that
I
would
don't
be real
expect
quick.
anybody to
Yeah.
check on me other
No.
than those who want to check
Who
on
But
me.
really
one thing
have a
that
genuine
really
Oh,
got
I
me.
seen you on your live
Hey, listen.
crying. You know how many people say, "Why she put her business out there?" I don't know those people. I don't know who said that. You know
But
why?
you might help
Because
somebody else
you
in
know
the
why?
process.
Because if it was on my heart, I said, "Damn, I know I'm gonna try to hold it together." And the man, the locksmith was there, and one came that told me I was the. He
Hey,
said,
look.
"Don't cry." He was an Ethiopian, the one that changed the lock and took it down $50. He said, "Don't cry. You're a queen. Hold your head, Selassie. Hold your head, Selassie."
And that's what you
look,
gotta do.
hold on,
Right.
he left. Then here come Crackerphone Cracker. Came down and told me somebody called us. The voice sound like you, and I'm still on live. I'm like, well, what? Then what? because I'm getting my voice back now. I'm like, what? Because you take me,
look.
I'm suffering at this point. You don't even know what the fuck I'm living through. I want to get out of this house. It's hard for me to sleep at night. You come on, and you dragging me because I won't pay you something extra. Like, I have it like that because you came into a luxury high rise. Bitch, please.
Yeah.
At the same time, you ain't feeding nobody.
Yeah.
You don't know half of what I'm going through in here. Like, I've been violated.
But you know, God gives us, and people don't realize this. Sometimes, you know, we think everything that's supposed to be sweet and this, that, and the third, and all that. But you know what I've learned? You know, in my 61 years, and God has given
61.
God has given me a lot in this 61 years. Because at one time, I was just wanting to just like totally be like, look, fuck it all. Not that I wanted to go nowhere, because I ain't doing nothing to me.
I've been
I've
there.
I ain't want to go nowhere. I ain't want to die. None of that kind of stuff. But the pain that I felt was like, oh my God. Why would my firstborn, my only son, I got a lot of sons out there. Hey, sons. I got a whole lot of sons out there
Big G,
that
I know
respect
you watching.
me as you know, and they know me. And they know the things that were said about me was not true. Mm-hmm. And so I had to look at it like, you know what? God, I don't know what you're trying to do. But what you did, God, that wasn't God. That was that other adversary. Because he tried to get in. He comes in to kill, steal, and destroy. And let me tell y'all something. He is working rampant, not only in our personal relationships, but in the personal relationship, in the relationships of our communities.
Yes.
Look at what's going on, and
when
look
you
at
got
what we dealing
parents
with.
turned against their children.
You got to
look at Revelations and he's saying the last
and you know
days.
what? And you got to know your Bible and
or
say,
your Quran,
and your
or
Quran,
whatever.
Because you know what? They similar. Read it.
They got the same message.
They have
good
the same
and
message.
Bad.
You got to know. You got to be able to discern that and understand. With wisdom comes understanding.
No.
And so I had no understanding at the moment of why this was happening to me. But in hindsight, when I thought about it, I said, God, tell me what you want me to do. What is it? What is it that you want me? What is it in this that I need to do for not only myself, but my relationship with my son? Because at that particular point, it was null and void. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? God, you teaching me something. You teaching me how to forgive. You teaching me how to love unconditionally. Because what mom can say, whatever that their child has taken them through, because I done probably took them through some stuff too. Mm-hmm. I've had to ask for forgiveness as well. God has forgiven me for a whole lot of stuff that I done done. You know, so I in turn had to do that. I had to release that forgiveness in order for me to grow. And I grew in that moment. And I said, you know what, Satan, whatever you trying to do, you ain't done it. You ain't done it. You ain't a winner here. Because I could have very well said, I'm not speaking to him for the rest of my damn life. And that's
exactly
how I felt in the moment. I was like, I'm not talking to his ass. That's my only son, though. How can I do that as a mom? I can't. But I've done some things, too, that God is having to forgive me for. And that my children have had to forgive me for. So who am I to say that, oh, F him. I can't do.
I can't say that my children have always said what I wanted to hear.
And they don't.
And I have not always been what they wanted me to be.
Me either.
I tried to respect them and get a little bit better with what I went through to give a better version. Now, and I look at them as mothers. You know how many people, when I say I got 10 grandkids, they be like, ooh, her daughter's a horse. No, what they are, what they are 3 women that have 16 degrees amongst the 3 of them. That all 3 of them are homeowners and I'm still renting. College graduates with healthy badass kids running around doing whatever they want with healthy dispositions, mind frame, soul, body, and spirit. And for me, my job is done. Every day past that is good, is a plus for me. because they are everything that I have never
wasn't.
seen in my.
I wasn't.
I definitely was not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, and I'm gonna say that in my life, being a physician was a goal, and accomplishing the things.
I'm
that
about
I've
to have
accomplished-
2 doctors, by the way. They're both the 2 oldest ones is getting their doctors, but go on, doctor.
Go, girl.
Go on, doctor, because you know I'm gonna get my sweat. They might bury me in that shit. Yeah, they doctors, and I'm out.
That's
My
right.
joint said
Amen and thank you.
PhD, and I'm gone.
Amen and thank you.
My parents, my
Are
father,
proud
that
as hell,
was
here
my
or
father,
other.
right? And when he, as he was making his transition, I called up to the hospital, and he said, "Get that phone away from me. I don't want to talk to her." I said, "Dad, you don't want to talk
Yeah,
to
that's
me?"
his. Yeah, I
He
see
looked.
that
He
though.
said, and he said to them, he said, "My baby is a doctor. She's a good doctor. If there's anything that she thinks that y'all should be doing, or that I can do to make this,
Yeah,
she's
that
going to
is-
do it."
that's
and
it.
I am.
Yeah, and it's not
It
it's
wasn't
not the
me.
letters
It's not
or the
me.
accolades.
No.
It's the person. Because when you was
But
talking
that's what I
before,
was
I
gonna say.
visually, I told you, I said, when he said, yeah, mama, I said, ooh, I already knew that was mom. Because not only do you articulate, you take all of y'all take people. I love people that take you on verbal rides. Because if you understand the words, you understand what comes behind them. Because you have already put together those words to come out the way you want them to be heard. So if I'm engaging, I'm also on that ride. So I've enjoyed the trip.
Yes.
But
So
when I was going, I looked over and I said, "Ooh, you know that's his
No,
mother."
that's
I look and I went just like that. I said,
that's what she did.
what she said?
But I'm gonna say that even in everything that I have accomplished, been through personally, professionally, the thing that I have always taken the most pride in is not just being a good parent, a good
Person.
mother, not even just a good aunt, and showing them that no matter what I've done in life and
Yes.
the decisions I've made, when it comes to you guys,
It's about you.
that I went to the wall to make the
yeah.
best possible and give the
Absolutely.
best possible. And regardless of, my niece has said it the best over time. She says, you know, I don't care what y'all say about, anybody can say what they want about our sister. She's always been there for me and always been good to me.
And all you get
And that
being
means,
able to
and
look
that
in the
means,
mirror is
and
everything.
that means
Everything.
everything.
Them ones that say, I'm
Everything.
solid, I'm 100, I'm a stack. They ain't.
Let's keep it a
Because
buck.
when you are, you don't even have to say it.
You don't have
And
to say it because
And
you
you-
are
And you
that
don't
you
know how to
are,
receive it.
that you are, because people can see who you are. You can have said 1,000 things negative about me on live, on national TV, or whatever. But there's somebody that knows that they know that the genuine person that you are, that's not going to change that situation. That person is not going to look at what that person says. They're going to look at, because I know that that's not her heart. That's not who that person is. You know, and people have to learn how to separate the fact from the fiction about people. And that's what we don't take the opportunity to do. You look at people sometimes at face value. I've been in plenty of rooms where
I'm
people
telling
say,
you.
oh, she thinks she this. No, I don't. You do. You think I'm that. I don't. I thank God for what He's given me. And first and foremost, if God is giving me, I'm going to show God that I appreciate it. Thank you, God. I'm grateful for it. So,
And I
you know,
called my beautiful imperfection was
that's
this
it.
mole right here.
Perfect.
I used to be like, why is it right there? And then I looked at your face. I was like, oh, she got a mole right here. I said, oh, and she got one right
And
here.
one here, two
It's a time
under my
that I wouldn't
eyes.
embrace it. And then I looked at your face, and you have a mole on your right face.
Yep.
And then I seen one right here. I was like, oh, and she got one right here.
I have two here that people think that I actually dotted my face right here with those two
Somebody said
moles.
that for
me.
And no, they're
I'm
genuine.
telling
Hey,
you.
look,
I
I'ma
used to
say,
be
hey, look,
embarrassed about the scars
I
that
used to
I
be
wear.
embarrassed about this one,
Me
but the
too.
last
I
time I
know.
came
They
out,
say, you
got
got
my old
freckles.
shoes right
No,
here.
they're not freckles. They're
My baby know about
moles.
And
that.
people say,
Hey,
what
look, but
happened
listen.
to you?
We about to do our closing remarks, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm so happy, not only for my mother being here, not for AJ or Shasha, all these people. Y'all have Grace Me Go Go, but this is my mother. This is my wife, and I think y'all gave her comfort today. So understanding me, I don't think she understood me. So everybody tell her stories about.
I didn't
bam, this,
understand
bam,
the
bam.
world because
Right.
you know I was not like up in it and in the mix, so to speak. I knew the music, played the music, go. My son will tell you, gangster. He'll tell you, Mom used to play Too Short, NWA, Scarface, and
Jadakiss.
all that. When they were growing up, I played that.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
know.
Remember when we hosted Scarface at Tandor? My
Yes.
mother was so excited for me. She said, "Oh, you and the bitch was Face." My mother couldn't believe it. And he had a Redskin hat on. My mother was like,
that's
"Oh
the
my
best.
goodness."
Jadakiss.
and he got on with that.
Yeah,
Jada and all
yeah.
them, but he grew up with that, type, because that was in me. And I still do at 61 years of age, and judge me if you want, don't care. But, I listen to all genres of music
Right,
because, that's in my background. I play classical music. I play three-stringed instruments, and nobody knows that. I don't put that, out there like that, that's something. But that is formed and shaped, who I am.
Now y'all see
and
where I
with
get my
that
hosting
music,
skills from.
with that music playing every morning when I get them up, what was our favorite song in the morning on Park Road? Keep on moving, don't stop.
I know that's right.
Those type of
Shoot,
things
I'll
that
get
got
it.
them up.
Don't mess with
Oh,
Bill.
Yeah.
No, no. Don't mess
and
with
it
Bill.
was instilled in him, and he took that route, and I've said to him before on many occasions that I'm proud that you didn't let the naysayers or you ain't this and that, and you didn't even let me.
Oh, he comes under fire.
Yeah, he knows.
Because
don't
if you
even
can
let
stand
me.
Ryan, you got some tough
Yeah, because
skin.
when I
Crab
didn't
leg
even
Ryan.
understand I didn't understand it. And I'm like, how you gonna be a rapper and your ass stutter?
Man.
That was my
But
first
that
thing.
was when I was sitting
You
over
know,
there
but that's
and y'all
that
was
negativity,
saying,
but it didn't
he's
stop
come
him in
across
any
women.
way. He
That's
just
why when
went
y'all
on and
took
said,
a break,
I'm
I
gonna do
had
this.
to
My
say,
best
like,
friend
I
when
had
he
to
stuttered,
accept
and
that.
he
I've
was
seen
a rapper
it.
like
I've
Yes,
seen
and
it.
that's what he does. When he
And
rap,
it's
he
like,
don't
but
stutter.
guess what?
Well, I
Looking
gotta
at that
think.
instead of looking at look at the
I have to
process.
speak
Look
up.
at what are the odds of that? That's no
Yeah,
human
yeah,
understanding.
I-
How
There's
you
no
get
understanding. And then you have to look at that, and those are the blessings of God. You know
But
what
I
I'm
gotta
saying?
thank
Those are-
my
you got-
man.
that's
Hey,
the
listen.
blessings.
I'm gonna say it over and over again, and people don't like it, but I gotta thank, I gotta thank Big G, because when he put me in the front of a crowd of 3,000 and said, "I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna keep giving it to you," you killed him, man, over and
I
over
said,
again.
why you do that?
Yeah. And G has always loved my mom, and like we did
Yeah.
when we was on Go
Yeah.
Radio. He said, "Mom, to save me out like so many nights."
Yeah.
And my mother called up to the show saying, "I didn't see that, but he always said Bam was always out first because my mother didn't ever. I had a bike, so she and Ging used to say, and I was always saying like, what we doing today?" And Ging always embraced me, so everything goes to credit to Big G. No matter how big I get, Big G really put me out. He really gave me the platform of performing for everybody. So, baby, you want to give a shout out, and then we're gonna let Shasha and Jacob.
Shout out to everybody, father's cancer survivors that's still out
We didn't
there
talk about that
and
much.
that are battling the fight. Keep fighting.
Trunk or treat next week.
Hang
Y'all
up
can
in
donate,
there,
man.
y'all. You got this. You got it.
Yes.
Tell them about the trunk or treat.
Our trunk or treat in Culpeper is October 30th. And donations, you can cash at me or ma'am. So we can get this candy
give it back
together
to
for
the
these kids. Please keep my son in prayer. All I know is I got a phone call that he's away out of country for 20 days. I don't know what's going on, but keep him in prayer. And all my kids.
Mimi, love you, man.
So we next Saturday, October 22nd at Light the Night DC.
I seen that.
Joe has a lantern and there's a lantern for my
Okay,
hand.
we'll
I've
be
done
there.
that before.
We'll
I've
be
done
there.
it.
We'll
I'll
be
be
there.
in
Like,
I'll be in the
we'll be
place
there.
to be.
We
That is an
absolutely
amazing
do.
sight
I'm
too
telling you,
for
it really is.
anybody.
It is beautiful.
For anybody who's ever
and I'm
seen
gonna
it.
say,
But he always,
Yes.
So I was in cancer treatment before Joe, and he walked with me and my friends. You know, we did the walks we
Yes.
did. So now that it's a representation, honestly, of my family.
Mhm.
Because we had to come together in a different way. Joe was diagnosed, and then my dad was diagnosed with the same thing. I was taking Joe to chemo on Monday and Wednesday. I was taking my dad on Tuesday and Thursday,
Wow.
and we were going to the supermarket
That's
on
deep.
Friday. I moved everybody into one house
Oh,
to
gosh.
make sure
My
that
days,
we
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That
right
in
to make
itself.
sure that we. So when I didn't contact Light the Night, the Holy Cross Hospice team contacted
Oh,
them.
wow.
And
My
they
best friend.
contacted me. But I know through his foundation, we still have the BJ Mayfield Foundation, Keeping It Classy. We were able to give away 7 scholarships this year, and we're still working in hospices for people that are supporting their loved ones.
That's wonderful.
So for them to honor him at Light the Night, even though I don't get to do as much as I would like to for him, I just don't think it's an appropriate thing to have a party for him or for his birthday. I think that these acts that I do mean more. So we are, again, after Light the Night, we're going to begin our annual clothes and coat
Oh, that's amazing.
collection
Cool.
for not just the shelter, but for, again, people who are going through hospice or have loved ones that are being treated, to support them
And
in that
those
way
blankets
also.
are everything. Everybody,
Yes,
Yes.
everybody
that
loves-
knits blankets. If your grandma knits, do not look at her like she crazy. Understand
No.
that those blankets.
Those blankets mean
are
so
everything.
And they're very
Somebody-
heavy, y'all, because
So
my mother,
much to
yes, they
They
are
are.
very heavy
But,
and comfortable. Yes, they are.
I don't know what the arrange. I'm hoping that they allow us to be out for Light the Night. But if not, I'll send pictures. But I want everybody to, that is, I don't want to say that it's become my mission, but it's become my passion.
Yeah.
Is to know that not only do people suffer, but their families
ones, yes,
suffer.
take
Absolutely.
on
Absolutely.
such. I was in the hospital when Joe was in the hospital. I was there with him from March to the night he passed away. I was there, spending the nights, Uber Eats, DoorDash. If I did not have the support of people, my family, friends, I was
And that's
sleeping
what
in
it
the
is.
reclining
Chair.
chair,
Oh, my
and I
God,
dropped my phone down in
uncomfortable.
there, and it cracked the whole screen.
Oh, wow.
I had a girlfriend come, take the phone, left me her phone, and went and got my phone replaced, and came back while I
It's
stayed
the
in the
little
hospital.
things.
That's level.
And I'll
it's the small things that matter
never,
so much.
never,
So
never,
much.
never. My
You
car
know.
was towed
Yep.
from the hospital. My dad and my brother came to pick me up to go get another vehicle to come back. But it's not, and this is not something that goes away. This is something that we live with
Everything.
forever. Like the what ifs. What if I hadn't been there that night? He would have died alone. What if I hadn't made these decisions? So in your prayers and in your shout outs, please remember the foundation. We do as much as we can on what we have. Again, 7 scholarships was huge for
Wow.
us. In a
Yeah.
COVID
Clap that up,
foundation,
clap
we
that
had
up.
I'm
7
still trying to.
seven
Clap that
scholarships
up.
we were able to give out in the COVID environment,
That's nice.
with book bags and school supplies, etc. So that was still big for us. But just wanting to, and this is why when Bam says that he's doing these things, I'm so eager to support
He always
them,
does.
because when it comes to, I think that the knowledge and the emphasis has to. We do want to remember the people that are gone, but I want to recognize the people that are still here
fighting.
and still
Still
fighting
fighting.
and still helping me help them.
Yeah.
in their fight.
Yeah.
And that's the most important. You know, hospice is a very, very lonely place.
Yes, it
And
is.
through COVID, it has been
Even worse.
super,
Because
you
you
know,
can't.
you can't go, you can't.
You can't
So
see
many
your
people
loved
dying
ones and
alone.
they lying alone.
So we set up some FaceTime events at the Holy
nice.
Cross, you know, with Holy Cross Hospice. We're setting up some FaceTime events so that people could
Interact.
FaceTime and interact with their person that was, you know, that's going through. So that's my biggest give and take away all of the
Great.
time is to make sure that we are being supportive
That's
to the
right.
people that are still out here. The people
The
that are
warriors,
still out here
baby.
fighting.
All right, shout out,
Those
give you a shout out.
Those
Let
the
them know what's going
warriors,
on.
and you know
First-
what? If
okay,
you
let's
haven't
abundance.
done the light the night,
Yes.
oh my God,
Oh,
I
It
did
is
it.
so
It's so
beautiful.
beautiful,
It is.
and you see the lighted lanterns. I did it a few years ago. If you look on my Facebook, you'll see a few years ago that I did it. I had on this like funky green. It was the green color that year.
Yes.
And we did it, and it was just, I mean, it was just euphoric, just the atmosphere,
is something
you know, of
amazing.
it all. It's something to behold. And while we shouting out all the cancers, the light of the night is leukemia, but for all the cancers and all the cancer victims, survivors, strivers, warriors, we shout you out today, and we got your back. And those type of events are those that support those types of things. And one thing can I throw out while we talking about cancer? Also, brain tumor and brain cancer awareness is real. We sitting with one person here to my right
Yes.
that has survived, and also my daughter,
doing
my
well.
baby daughter, was also a victim of brain tumor, and we also did a walk for brain tumor and brain cancer survivors a couple of years ago. So get in the fight, y'all. It don't cost you nothing but some time and a few dollars, and it means everything to all those warriors that we love so much. Those that have gone on, those who have fought the good fight, get out there for them. I'll be out there live in the living color.
Yeah. All right, Shasha, go ahead and do.
Y'all already know my situation because I televised everything. Second biopsy, when I went in there and they said they didn't have to do, she said, I'm not going to touch you for 6 months because I see a shrinkage.
Wow.
And when people think that, I ain't even going to go there. Y'all know what it is.
You already know.
But I stopped. I was not a cannabis person. I'm bringing this up because me and my newfound company through the Avenue, Good Girls has partnered with them. Good Girls is another company that I have other than Mouthpiece Productions Management Incorporated. We are now the Avenue, from your street to the Avenue, because people don't know the positive effects of cannabis.
Yep.
So when they see this, they think, oh yeah, she's smoking.
just
She
smoked
like to get high.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not getting high.
Nope.
And I didn't understand that till I understood it. So, and I like to add that 2 years ago, the highest grossing dispensary in DC was owned by the only black female to own a
Go,
dispensary,
girl.
and she dealt with Project Runway with
Project
hemp,
Runway.
hemp clothing. She netted $5 million. So if you think you just sell weed, you don't just have to sell weed, but understand what it is you're doing
What you're
and
doing.
why.
Yes,
There's different
absolutely.
avenues.
And that
We
avenue
are-
means everything.
Right, we are the avenue.
From your block to the avenue.
We
Yes.
don't specialize in all these different things. However, we know there's cultures, and we get the best of the best flower, whatever it is, and cultivators to
that
to
card in
give
your hand.
education on the cannabis product, because we have clients that can't get out. They can't come and can't suffice their needs. And what we do, and what Good Girls did before the Avenue and signing on to the Avenue, and I became part owner of the Avenue as well as Good Girls, we create food. I mean, delicious, lovely, infused food. Because being able to eat saves your life. Being able to keep that weight up. Oh, I make them hungry. And
So
guess
let me
what?
say,
I'm going to make them happy.
I didn't know that this was you guys' company, but my dad just passed away in January. But from September to December, the infused drinks
Yeah.
were what we were purchasing.
And see, we
online.
have shout out to Alva, Alva Treats,
Chronic pain,
and see we
sleeping
and
disorders, everything.
everything.
His
Everything.
stomach, he has cancer of the colon and liver.
Oh,
so you know the stomach.
absolutely.
But you have the yellow infused tea that help
It's
with the
a lot.
digestion.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was-
And it's a lot of cannabis products and cannabis byproducts. If you've never seen, I mean, it's amazing because you could have a child that's never spoken and is not interacting, and they put the CBD. I started out with the CBD education because I wanted to make popcorn and sprinkles because I saw the difference that it made in children and how they were at least able to have a quality of life. Okay, so in that education, I never took it to the process because I thought, dang, it's so many different avenues, you know, that this is happening in. So when a lot of people see something, you got to be able to read it and understand what it is. I'm trying to take you off of the medicine that they wanted to take me on, that modern medicine. I had my situation with lung nodules, and I went through 56 pills to 27 to 17 pills a day.
Wow.
I chose holistically instead of chemical treatment. Just because I believe people have the right to decide what their destiny is, and that's another story. But the avenue caters to people that want to eat good food, that want to or may have different needs. We're going to address your specific cannabis needs. It could be education. You could want a grow process. Shout out to DC Scroger. And my sister is a breast cancer survivor, and she's amazing.
She's
An amazing
Surviving
woman.
and
So I just love her so much for
wonderful.
just inspiring the difference and to be able to embrace taking the picture with your scar and embracing it. And I love her for her strength and everybody that exuberates that, because when you tell them something, the first thing on somebody's face that receives something that they feel is bad instead of a condition that somebody is supposed to be in is defeat.
That's right.
And when you receive defeat, that your body naturally lets off an enzyme that shortens your life.
And that's
so
right.
I tell your ass
You're
to
in the
laugh.
negative.
But you're in the negative.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get that infused.
Right, we infuse that.
Pump
And
it
you
up.
start smiling. You'll smile. You'll smile.
Gonna make you smile.
So we have
And you
today.
gonna eat
So we I didn't bring the I didn't bring the
It's
shrimp
really good.
mac and cheese, but we do
I'm
sauteed
hungry.
mushrooms. We do
Jerk
jerk chicken wraps,
Sliders.
sliders. We do chicken wings. Everybody loves wings. I call myself the sauce boss because I made so many sauces.
Keep it
And
saucy.
this is right. I like that.
Saucy.
This is something that I never had a desire to cook until COVID,
All right.
and I had to be in the house. So Aisha was getting on my nerves and all the rest of the house. So I just went in the kitchen because I was like, "You ain't in there." I'm mad because she ain't cooking, so I started cooking. But it was crazy because I learned a desire for it, and they happened to come along with. And I told them because they was like, "Oh, host our party and whatever." We doing pop-ups because it's legal in Virginia now, and I did not do anything or smoke or engage in anything prior to it being legal. I mean, other than when my kids were younger, and then when I understood why I stopped smoking because I was going to Iraq on trying to get the program with KBR, get that untaxable money.
Yeah.
I stopped smoking, and then it caused me anxiety when I started to smoke again because you were smoking the wrong shit.
That's right.
Stop smoking shit that they put trees in and say, "Oh, look at this strawberry kush." No,
That
messing
ain't
yourself up.
it.
But the knowledge of
Different
it,
strands.
knowledge is understanding.
Yes.
So I tell people like, get with the avenue. We got an event coming up where it's going to be Zoom. It's going to be on Eventbrite.
Like
You're going to
Grand
be able to
Launch
come and pick up your product, your butter,
We deliver.
and your everything, your pre-roll. You do your pre-roll, and everybody will be set up on the Eventbrite on the Zoom, and we'll be cooking together
Wonderful.
and letting everybody experience. You can cook your own meal. You can cook one of my recipes, but then we engage. And you know, it was a funny thing. I was telling one of my good men about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that shit sound tight. Sign us up. We want to." People that you think people. When you look to get high, you go higher.
Right.
Stop holding your head. Stop holding your head down low because you already seen what's down there.
But you know what's there. Yeah. Go
They
ahead.
they had me on a
We
whole
also
lot of
do, like,
anxiety medicine.
We also cater events.
Yeah,
Oh.
We
cater
also,
events.
like, we have chefs that come in and cook inside your home. Oh yeah, and you got the experience.
I don't
right
know
there
who
from
likes
this plate.
cannabis,
So that's
but we
another
bought
interesting-
two pair of promotional.
both of those.
Yes, I take them.
So we want to be able to reach out, and we're also going to give away 2 spots. I want you to be able to give out one to whoever you would like to
Oh, that's so
enjoy and
nice.
come and just
That's
experience.
wonderful.
And they don't have to cook with the candy butter, or they can. We also supply that as a donation.
Okay.
We don't sell
No, we don't
weed or
Right.
or marijuana or
Products.
cannabis or
Right.
reefer
I'll send
or
you
herb
wine.
products. We are people that are knowledgeable about things that save lives and how to make people feel better in doing
And
that.
that would be such an
Sounds good.
asset
Like
to
shut
a caretaker.
Oh yes,
Hey, look.
absolutely.
Able to prepare
It's
a
been
meal
a
that
beautiful
not
show.
only is the meal, but is the stimulation for
Man, this
thing,
one
but
been one of the
next.
best shows I might have had ever.
Exactly, that's true.
Y'all might can put this
We
one in
giving
the
away
book.
some food.
So we about to take some pictures. We out here the GoGo platform. We see y'all next week.
The
Trunk or
Avenue.
treat next week. The Avenue.
Instagram.
Culpepper, we live. Man, don't forget about, man, you know, November 20th, I'm out in North Carolina hosting the Redskin versus the Carolina game. Right there,
When y'all
tailgate.
see
You know who I'm going for. We out of here.
Ah.